remain in the hunt for the title, and tonight we will be cutting the field in half once again. For your entertainment on the Rift this evening, we've got the number 1 seed from the Vestayan Conference, Akuma Peacemaker, up against the Vestayan 8th seed, DeathMark Esports. Both teams secured 3-0 match victories in the round of 16. Peacemakers able to take care of business against the allegation beaters who had just barely squeaked into the playoffs, while DeathMark found themselves a pretty shocking upset win over the Ascension Conference's first seed Iceborne 4-1. Now it is time to see if Akuma can accomplish another anticipated ascension, where if DeathMark Esports can defy expectations and decimate the de facto dominators. Bringing you the call from the Aegis Esports production channel. My name is Crewman. I'm here with the splendiferous Storm for the spectacle. Speak to me, Storm. How are you feeling tonight?
I'm doing fantastic, Crewman. It's a great day. I feel like we've all had a long weekend ahead of us to get ready for this esports action. Happy Ham Day, or whatever you call Easter. I think it's going to be a great matchup tonight. You know, both teams coming in off 3-0 victories. Was a little bit of that upset win, as you had mentioned, but I feel like we are going to be getting into draft pretty soon here. But before we do, Crewman, do you have an idea of what this matchup's going to go? I feel like, you know, it's the first seed versus the 8th seed, you know, the lower seed. I feel like there's a pretty clear winner here, maybe, but do you think we're going to be able to get a 5-game series finally on stream, or is it going to be a quick 3-0 again like last week?
We'll see. We'll see. I do think a 3-0 or, you know, a one-sided outcome of some measure is most likely. But certainly I am hoping that we can get a competitive matchup on our screens tonight. You know, I do think that the jungle and the mid lane are going to be big lanes to watch tonight, as per usual. But we'll have to see. I mean, there's kind of, you know, in a couple of 3-0 matches, you know, obviously it's going to be a team effort. So really, we could see any of these players popping off tonight. We'll just have to see how it goes. But I'm hopeful for a close matchup, but I don't know. I don't want to, you know, deceive our viewers. I don't want to lie to the people. You know, it's on paper a one-sided affair, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I definitely feel like, as we were talking about, this mid lane matchup should be very interesting. You know, the Boo Boo Kitty 6-7 with a fantastic
government name.
Yeah, their government name. We can see them coming up here. So this is the Akuma Peacemakers coming in as this higher seed. Got Dwami Poppy in top lane, Rigor Mortis at the jungle, the aforementioned Labubu Kitty 6-7, Kentology at ADC, and Arcadius at support.
Yeah. The Peacemakers are very strong this season, only dropping that one single game, which I believe was pretty early on in the season, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Taking a look at their opposition tonight, DeathMark Esports trying to come up with the upset victory, the 8th seed out of this Vestayan Conference. In the top lane, they've got Rorschach. In the jungle, Doku, mid laner GQB, AD carry Papa Sucre, and at support, Javi Fizz at 12. Javi Fizz 1-2 there in the support position. See if they're going to be able to measure up against Akuma tonight. Hopefully, they will be able to give us a show this evening.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this one. I think it's definitely, as we've been kind of alluding to, this mid lane matchup in between GQB and Labubu should be really interesting. I'm hoping we don't see like kind of the standard stuff come out, like, you know, the smell or whatever. I'm hoping teams have kind of started preparing some counter picks into this. We were doing a little bit of digging before this. There's a lot of things I think that are quite good into her. Same with the Ari and things like that. Just these picks we've seen just taken on B1. I'm really hoping that we're going to see in playoffs a team just kind of make a stand and go, okay, you're going to pick Ari. Let's slam like an actual counter pick. Let's play an Annie game, or let's play Akshan, or just something that can outroam her, or something really exciting this series. You know, we did see a lot of kind of more standard drafts out of Akuma that they play, you know, a lot of the kind of comps of old and stuff like that, just the tried and true, right? You know, Caitlyn Karma, you know, Xin Zhao plus Ari, things that are just have always been really good, right? And will continue to always be good. So I'm hoping maybe we see something coming more out of DeathMark from this. But GQB definitely in mid lane's shown me kind of from his champion pool. It's very much that kind of control mage style. So I doubt we're going to see any of the real spice coming up from him, but maybe someone else on this team can really bring it out.
Yeah, I mean, we did see a Lysandra last week in their win over Iceborne 4-1. So maybe, you know, we could, that's not like the most meta, you know, it's somewhat interesting, I would say. So maybe we'll see something like that coming out. I don't think it's necessarily a fantastic answer into the RE. You know, we were just kind of contemplating the possible answers into the RE, which I do feel like is still kind of a premier option there in the mid lane. So I think, you know, as far as this game one is concerned, I think we're most likely to just kind of see those meta picks as you were kind of hinting at, Storm. So we'll see what the teams decide to go for. You know, we've been sitting on this current patch. I believe this is 26.7, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 26.7. Yeah. That we're sitting on right now. And, you know, this patch didn't really have too many big changes for us, not really too many big mix-ups as far as the meta is concerned. So probably just looking at more of what we've been seeing for most of this season. But we'll see. I mean, I think especially for the side of DeathMark Esports, you know, being the underdog on paper coming in tonight, if they want to throw a curveball into the mix, I think maybe even, you know, something in game one could be a pretty good time to do it. I mean, we saw, you know, obviously, as already mentioned, both of these teams able to pick up those 3-0 victories last week. You know, if you're able to get some early momentum, some wind in the sails here early on, that could be potentially all that they need.
Yeah, and I mean, we've hopped into draft. We're starting. We're getting ready. We're seeing things coming out here. Zehen and Inara being banned here by Akuma. DeathMark banning the Ziggs and the Mbessa. So definitely some like the premier kind of flex picks taken in the round one positions. Wukong going to get taken here out from Akuma. So for Rigor Mortis, the Viego is still open, and that's like his most played by far. So I'm kind of thinking that's going to get looked at here towards first round rotations. Thresh going to be the last band here from DeathMark. So that's still open here. I wonder if that's first pickable for them, or nope. Instead
Xin Zhao a little bit more meta. That's going to get locked away first. We are still looking at things like the Ahri and the Mel are still available. You know, the Mel, obviously a pretty common answer into the Ahri. So, you know, I wonder if that would actually potentially be higher priority in terms of that mid lane tier list. We'll have to see what DeathMark decide to go for. They could also just go towards like a meta bot lane, like things like the Ashe Seraphine are still available here if they'd like to go in that sort of direction. But going for a match in the jungle position, they're going to be locking away the Vi on R1. And maybe we will see the Ahri just come through here. I mean, feels a little bit, would be a little bit blasé perhaps to take that with the Mel still available, but it is a great combination with the Vi.
Yeah, I mean, Ahri and Xin Zhao is quite a good combo as well, so you have that little bit of a denial, but I feel like it's kind of risky taking it if there's going to be things coming out, but it's going to be the Nico locked in. Okay. We did see that Nico mid did come out for one of these teams' opponents in the last week. I think that was the game we saw that Lysandra mid come out as the answer to it. But I'm really interested to see if this is a flex or not, right? For DeathMark.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we saw a support Nico game for Akuma for the side of Arcadius did happen last week, but we didn't necessarily see Javi Fizz pull it out. So we'll see. I mean, I assume it is going to be the Nico support. There is the Ahri that we were kind of discussing. And they're going to take the Nami as well. Interesting. So 80 carry yet to be locked in for Akuma, but they really are valuing the Nami here as a priority pickup in the first phase of picks.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting to see. I mean, it is Arcadius's most played champion this season in solo queue. It's something that they feel incredibly comfortable on. So that is a big pickup for them. And Nami has a lot of really good pairings. And there is the Mel. So we're kind of pretty sure that this is Nico support, you know, barring somebody wanting to play on hit Nico top lane or something very, very bizarre. Or, you know, I guess it could be Melbot or something, but almost certainly that this is like the matchup into the Ari. It is a really good counter because you have similar styles of wave clear, and you can just hold your reflect forever until Ari tries to throw a charm out into you, and then you get to charm Ari back. And you can throw your snare and with kind of impunity. Ari can't really punish it. So I do really like this pick into the Ari. So we're going to see DeathMark banning away these ADCs that pair really well. The Nami, the Corki's gone. I'm guessing they're also probably going to ban Lucian, would be my guess. Kind of fits with their team. Really strong skirmisher and kind of mid-game power spiking ADC.
Yeah, definitely. You know, other AD carries to look out for K-Technology over here for the side of Akuma. You know, did play a little bit of Yunara last week, because the Yunara is obviously already banned, so nothing to worry about there. The Zaya actually going to get taken away by DeathMark, so
that's weird because Akuma plays their Anthology plays a lot of Lucian, the most played in solo queue.
Oh, wow, looking pretty likely that might get locked in here for Akuma. Perhaps, I mean, the heyday of Lucian Nami is most certainly behind us. It's not quite as strong as it used to be. You know, that was a very conscious decision on the part of Riot, where they wanted to nerf that exact combo. And that happened, you know, towards the end of last year. So certainly it's not as strong as it used to be, but I think it's a pretty obvious, you know, lock-in here for the side of Akuma. I certainly agree, Storm. So expecting to see that come through. It is going to be the Ezreal for the side of DeathMark Esports. Papa Sucre going to be piloting that one, it looks like, here in game number 1.
Yeah, I'm kind of an Ezreal hater. I don't think this champion is, unless you are an exceptional Ezreal player, I feel like there's very often than not a better AD carry that you can be playing. Just the damage numbers almost never really chalks up unless you're one of those cracked kids who's playing, you know, Fortnite or something and can hit 17 skill shots within 3 seconds kind of thing. I just think there's better ADCs you could be playing, but does offer a lot of safety into the Xin Zhao, Ari, and Nami, so I do kind of support it a little bit. I'm just not the biggest fan. I'm wishing we could have seen something else come out. But Sion gonna be the blind pick top liner. Nothing really all that interesting there. Almost always gonna get put in that position. Just kind of in slot best tank for almost every draft. Provides a little bit of, you know, engage for his team. It's really solid team fight presence. And instead of going for this, they're gonna go Ashe. Okay.
Hey, interesting. So the Ashe Seraphine, you know, obviously this is full Fearless, what we have here for the ADL playoffs. So the Ashe Seraphine not going to be taken off the board for the rest of this series with that Ashe lock-in here for Akuma. So very, very interesting indeed. You know, should have priority, I would imagine, into the Ezreal Nico. Wouldn't you say, Storm?
I would assume so, that they should. That Ashe generally provides a lot of priority in most lanes, you know, having that range support as well. Nico kind of just excels at beating up on melee supports. That's her main strength of, you know, you're able to root them and then pump the damage into them, especially with someone like Ezreal. It's kind of hard to hit the tango barbs onto actual other range supports because, you know, it's a fairly slow moving projectile and things like that. So Nico's real kind of like plays are, you know, coming out of the minions and stuff, and as long as Akuma is counting, you know, and realizing if, hey, there's an extra melee creep or something like that, I don't think there should be any like real plays for this Nico to be making towards the ball lane. Of course, you're not picking Nico almost always for lane, right? A lot of her power is coming from that pop plus and that team fight ult. But I do want to touch out that DeathMark picking up the Gwen here as their round 5 counter pick into the Sion. Really, really powerful. A really, really good answer if you're able to have your team play the split push, right? That this, for DeathMark, they're saying, we want to play 4v4. Gwen, you go off on the side lane and you chase Sins out and you chase down that Sion and you kill him over and over again. So I'm... Oh, wait, side's wrong.
My goodness.
Okay, things making a lot more sense now. Okay.
So, yeah, just kidding. As you can see now on the stream, guys, DeathMark actually on the blue side for this first game, and Akuma on red. So you were saying, Storm, this makes a lot more sense. Would you care to elaborate?
I just like why they didn't pick Lucian there, like why they picked Ashe for DeathMark, right? I was saying it's Kentology's most played champion, whereas Papa Sucre, I believe, is the ADC of this other team, right? And he is very much more towards like a lot more utility picks and stuff in his kit. Plays a lot of like Ziggs, MF, Smolder, like other things that like provide like utility and things like that. I think Ashe is also something that he plays a lot of. So that to me makes a lot more sense of like, okay, that's why we picked that instead of going for the Lucian. It's not something they have like a whole bunch of games on. Also think it makes a little bit more sense for like GQB to just like slam the Ahri, because that's what he was doing in their other series, is he was just picking his mid laner and just kind of daring his opponent to counterpick him and then winning anyway. So I think he has kind of that ego going into this. We'll have to see if Labubu is able to do anything about it. But that's the main reason I think that this works out. But I still think I like Akuma's draft a lot more. I think that Gwen is really, really good into this for DeathMark, into this Akuma team. I think it's going to be whatever.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be really just hard.
The overlay is not quite right here. DeathMark is on the blue side, contrary to what we have on your screens right now. So yes, that is going to be Rorschach on the Gwen, piloting that into the Scion. So we'll see how that goes. It should be very favorable for the Gwen, obviously, as you were saying, Storm. So we'll see. I mean, Akuma with that red side counter, or it was Akuma with the red side counterpick of Gwen. Right. Yeah. So they had the Gwen into the Scion. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit bamboozled here as well.
Yeah, and we haven't even loaded into the game with the Nico yet. It's going to be a tough one, everyone.
Yeah, it's just going to get more confusing here for this first game. At least we don't have, any other champions that tend to disguise themselves. What's the other champion that always confuses us, Storm? I'm blanking
Viego.
right now. Yeah, Viego can be pretty confusing for sure. I feel like there's another one, though, that I'm just forgetting about right now. Anyways. So you were saying you do feel like this composition for the side of DeathMark with the Xin Zhao Ahri, as well as the Ashe, you're feeling pretty good about that as far as who came out on top in this game 1 draft?
I feel like I like a lot of what they have, just because if this game devolves into 4v4, DeathMark has a lot of ways to actually start something and to have something go, right? You have Nami Wave, you have Ashe ult, you have the Ahri being able to fish for charms and all those things, and it's like Mel Reflect has a ridiculously long cooldown. As someone who has played their first game of Mel in an ARAM game, that ability has like a 26-second cooldown at level 1 or something, and you max it last. So like there's a lot of opportunities to punish Mel when that's down. It is kind of hard to punish the Ezreal as well, but like Nico and Vi generally don't have that much like repositioning that if Vi is queuing away from you, you're incredibly happy. So I think DeathMark has a lot of tools to actually push forward in the 4v4. My real worry for them is I have no idea what the hell they're going to do against Gwen. Like if they have to send Ahri into the side lane, I think their team gets so much worse without Ahri being able to fish for things, like having Scion just be like the all or nothing in. And I really think Akuma is just going to be content to kind of sit back and just throw out CC and just win us the game in top lane. Just play side, win the game that way. So I think this is a pretty even draft, but I do think DeathMark just having a lot of the kind of initiation tools that are able to be thrown out that aren't like actually like really hardcore engages, right? Like Vi cease and desist, like Vi ulting in or Nico ulting in, you're not going out, right? Unless everyone else dies. It's kind of an all or nothing play from Akuma if they're the ones engaging a fight. Whereas I think DeathMark have a lot more ways to start a fight that isn't like so conditional, like all in kind of thing. So I like what they have a lot more, especially when I think there's going to be a lot of this poke wars going on.
Yeah, I definitely do feel like DeathMark have a lot more agency in terms of trying to set up those plays, exactly like you're talking about, Storm. with the Ahri as well as the Ashe and the Scion being able to frontline. But it does feel a little bit weird, having such a robust frontline in the Scion as well as like the Jinja being able to create all that space and not really having that true hyper carry in the AD carry position, right, in that Ashe. It does feel a little bit awkward where, I feel like if we do end up going late, I'm not sure if the side of DeathMark Esports are going to have the answers that they need to deal with this Gwen, right? And the fact that Akuma got the counter pick in this mid lane as well, getting that Mel matchup into the Ahri, we've seen so many times, is such a favorable matchup for the Mel as long as you can have that skill check of being able to reflect the charm. That is such a favorable matchup for the Mel. So it definitely feels like as long as Akuma can sort of weather the storm of the early and mid game and not get picked off by all of these tools that DeathMark Esports do have, they should be really favored heading into the later stages. And once you put the nameplates on and sort of take that power level into account, I am personally quite favoring Akuma in terms of what they have here for this game number 1.
Well, we'll have to see whose caster curse is stronger. Obviously, whenever we both really favor a draft and say, this game should be won, a lot of the time that team ends up losing. So, have to see who's got the stronger caster curse powers between the two of us.
We've managed to balance it out this time for sure. Yeah, I feel good about it. Hoping for not a 3-0 tonight. It was a 3-0 for both of these teams last week in the round of 16. So we're optimistic that we're going to be able to break that trend. We'll see how it goes in game number 1 right after this. All right, everybody, welcome on to the Rift for game number 1. We've got DeathMark Esports on the blue side, Akuma Peacemakers on red. The number 1 seed in the Vestayan Conference versus the number 8th seed. Again, a very one-sided matchup on paper. See if DeathMark Esports can bring us a close competition tonight.
Yeah, definitely should be interesting to see. We see both junglers have started on the top side of the match. Also kind of interesting to see that DeathMark really gave up that bot lane control at level 1, despite having this Ashe Nami kind of picked in to this Nico Ezreal, that they very much have ceded all kind of semblance of lane control. You can see how far back they are playing right now. I think that's kind of interesting, but should be the 3v3s kind of coming down here in bot lane, both junglers path and bot lane. Hopefully we'll get some fights happening down there and we get some action early.
Yeah, I think it's worth noting as well that K-Technology is running the lethal tempo as well as the cleanse on that Ezreal. Yeah. So, you know, valuing the additional attack speed does make Ezreal very strong in the early stages. You know, if he is able to auto attack, that can be really, really powerful. And having access to that cleanse as well makes him a really, you know, surprisingly threatening duelist. We don't necessarily usually think of Ezreal as like an early game powerhouse in the laning phase, but he certainly can be with this type of loadout.
Yeah, that lethal tempo just stacking so well with the rising spell flux, the Ezreal passive. Ooh, that was a pretty good trade there.
Yeah, sidestep on the solar snare for GQB is okay, but still getting the worst end of that one for sure. But we do see Kitty running pretty low on mana already on that Mel.
Yeah, definitely pushing out a lot harder. See that they have like a small CS lead. You know, there is a fairly major CS lead already in bot lane as well. There's already over a full wave for K-Technology over this Ashe. So, wondering if that's going to continue. Already some pretty big trades in the top lane as well. We can see Gwen is already winning, but that is the thing, right? You are playing into Sion. He's always going to be more useful in team fights, quote unquote. If all that happens is you guys just sit there and both scale for free, it's kind of not the greatest.
But, looks like we're going to have Rigor Mortis first into the river. Going to be able to complete that first clear a little bit earlier, so we'll be rewarded with the Southern Scuttle Crab. And we'll see if we're actually going to be getting a double crab situation for the Akuma jungler. Looking pretty likely right now. Do see Doku moving over in that direction as well. So junglers may be meeting in that topside river.
Yeah, and Smite is coming back up for Rigor Mortis, so should have it to secure this crab, but fight probably going to break down. We do see that there is a little bit of a roam for Kitty here.
Right, it goes to with the audacious charge, but it's going to be Rigor Mortis who finds that last hit onto the crab, does complete the double scuttle, is going to have that 2-camp lead over the Jin Zhao. Very nice for Akuma.
Yep, and even leading into his cycle quicker, you can see that those Krugs are coming up that little bit quicker as well for Rigor Mortis. That's that power, that first clear. So going to be able to start clearing again. Not have to take his reset quite yet here, whereas opposed to Doku, who just kind of got a couple of components there in the top lane. Really hoping that Rorschach is going to be able to start building towards that Hollow Radiance, the MR Sunfire quickly, because it's just... it makes that matchup so much easier once you have that to be able to match the wave clear more into this Gwen. But you can see every time you step up and try and press Q, you just get hit by those 1,000 snips and you just get chunked so hard.
We have seen K-Technology and Arcadius down in the bot lane already collecting a turret plate for themselves just 4 minutes into the game. They are really able to maintain quite a lot of pressure in this bot lane. He's got about a 15 CS lead over the Ashe right now as well. Feeling really nice for that Akuma bot duo.
Yeah, I mean, Papa Sucre should be able to catch up like a little bit here. You know, that's only going to be like 12 or 13 or something, but that's still like a huge win, especially considering you picked into this, right? You saw what the Ezreal and stuff, right? So really hoping something comes out of this soon, because Ashe isn't really known for like being great from behind or anything like that. You know, you still have all the utility and things like that. Well, there's a little bit of a mistimed charge of that W there from Labubu, but they are hitting 6 first. They do have that ult advantage. GQB now getting theirs, so I'm wondering if you had that little bit of timing knowledge, but it is so hard to play for, just randomly going for a big trade.
It's the dream first buy for the Ezreal as well. Having the Sheen as well as the tier on that first base feels so amazing versus a slingshot and a longsword for Sucre. Definitely a bit of a differential there in terms of the that early base. Here comes Doku. Going to be trying to get on top of K10, but the arcane shift away from the Jin Zhao is pretty easy for that Akuma ADC. First dragon alive is going to be a Hextech to start us off tonight, Storm.
Yeah, nothing really coming from that. Going to be that clean push in. Rigor Mortis able to start that. We get Kentonology and Arcadius able to come over and start hitting this. Get that stack that you get for killing dragons on any one of your yellow quests as well in the tree as long as you hit dragon once. So I hope they both auto attacked it at least that one time. Actually, Rigor Mortis is not taking this, oddly.
Yeah, I guess
needs to cycle his camps more or something? Is afraid of falling behind in tempo?
Yes, I mean, the Vi is already level 6. I mean, you already have access to the ultimate, and furthermore, they saw the Jinzhao as well. They saw that Doku was still only level 5, so it felt like a very clear window where Akuma could have gone for that first. Oh, that's a very low GQB, and that's going to be the Mel ultimate to finish off the Ahri and first blood for the Akuma mid laner.
Yeah, and that's just not respecting Mel's damage.
Ooh,
that
very
was
low is Javi as well in this bot lane. This K10 trying to pepper in some more skill shots. Going to find that Mystic Shot onto Sucre. It's the Ashinami both very low. The Ebb and Flow to heal up Papa a little bit, but Javi still extremely low underneath this turret. It's going to be another plate going over to K10 and Arcadius. But now Rigor Mortis, after clearing out those topside camps, going to be rotating back down to the bottom side of the map. And now surely we are going to be looking at a dragon start pretty soon here.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we have to see it starting, right? And Rigor Mortis is finally starting on this, attacking that bot lane. There's no way that this Ashe can come over. Oh, just standing right outside of that Hollow Mist as well for that big Scion Charge Q just means that you get absolutely nothing. I despise playing against this champion so much of the time in the top lane. I hate Gwen a lot. Being this tank in this matchup, it just feels miserable.
I'm glad we have you here to commiserate with Rorschach Storm, because I would have no mercy whatsoever. So that's good that you're able to commiserate with our Scion player. He is doing a decent job so far. You know, down about 15 CS in that top lane, but he did get counterpicked, and he is playing Scion, which is going to be very useful later. So it's really not that big of a deal. And it looks like he is building towards that Hollow Radiance as well, like we were hoping for, which is absolutely fantastic. First dragon of the game did go over to the Peacemakers. They were able to lock that one away, no problemo. And now Doku kind of lurking around the mid lane. Shankar Slayer reflected by Kitty. Very nice.
Is it going to hit it Ashe and base? No, walked past it. Did see them coming out of base though, so got that win, I guess.
Yeah. For sure.
But good job by Kitty there, having the timing down. Yeah, it just feels kind of hard to commit. I feel like you had to go for it and kind of bait out a charm or something like that as well. I feel like there's no way you're just hitting a raw Ashe ult on someone with all the time that they have to react to it.
Well, I mean, it's worth tossing it out, right? I mean, get that thing on cooldown, might as well. As Dwami going to be unstoppably onslaughted in this top lane, does flash away, and now here's the cease and desist onto Doku. The Jinja going down extremely low, and Dwami going to be picking up the last snip. Picks up kill number 2 for Akuma.
Yep, and we're building towards the correct item first on. And none of this Nashor's Tooth first crap that I see a lot of people doing. That is a fantastic item on her, but you want Riftmaker because it gives you sustain, and that way you can beat up on tanks longer. Thank you, Dwami, for building correctly.
Feels pretty good. And, is actually very close to being able to finish off Rorschach. That was the flash away just now for the Scion, as our spectator camera did troll us just a bit. But that summoner was forced out from the Scion. So that is both top laners now without flash.
Yeah, and we can see in this replay coming up here that there was a lot burned, right? Doku and Rorschach placing all of their CC down. The ultimate committed, the Crescent Guard as well, not getting anything. Just going to exit out of there. Nothing happening in the bot lane, just more poke getting thrown down. I'm sure hoping that there's someone able to bail out DeathMark's bot lane right now, because it's getting ugly.
Yeah, it started ugly, and it's continued to get uglier down here, unfortunately, for Papa and for Javi. They are continuing to kind of just bleed out in this lane. So overall, you know, the gold advantage is already up to about 700 for K-Technology, with still a bunch of zeros in the KDA columns. So, yeah, feeling pretty good. Closing in on that Trinity Force already at 11 minutes. Feels pretty decent for the Ezreal.
Yeah, and you can see GQB here is basically just trapped here by Kitty, right? And the Mel. So GQB is not able to go for any roams that just insta wave clear as soon as you're 9 and you just point and click that Q onto the wave and it just evaporates and you get so much incremental poke as well, because people generally want to stand in their minion wave to, you know, block skill shots and things like that. Doesn't really do anything against Mel. It's actually quite bad too, unfortunately. So kind of hard to break that
first purchase for GQB as well, going for the Mercury treads first in this matchup. What do you think about that, Storm?
I mean, I get the idea of it, that you need that movement speed to try and walk out of those Qs, but it just means you're not going to have the Q damage, I don't believe, to one-shot the backline, the caster minions. You're just delaying so much of your own power spike there that I don't really like it here. I feel like if you're going to do this, you just have to kind of sack waves and play for your roam more or something like that. Like, we haven't seen any advantage so far from having these boots done, right? There's been no skill shots getting dodged. There's still a lot of poke down coming from GQB. And Labubu Kitty here is like, they're playing Ghost, right? They don't have TP, so if you're able to force them to back and play for them, like more extended trades or things like that, I could get it, but they just haven't been able to. And you can see as soon as there's any sort of step up there, we saw Rigor Mortis being there ready to cover for his mid laner. So it just seems so hard for GQB to get any sort of footing in this matchup.
And we got second dragon spawning very soon here. Neither jungler on that bottom side of the map right now. But it is going to be that bot lane priority for the side of Akuma when they do decide to look towards that objective, you have to imagine.
Yeah, they have bot lane priority. They have a lot of mid prio as well. We can see that we know the junglers are going to be matching up as well in the jungle here. Wonder if this is going to be a real fight or just a smite fight over these chickens. Looks like it's just the smite fight. Wraiths down.
A throwback. Yeah. Formerly the Wraith camp. Real ones know. So our junglers now making their way towards this bottom side of the map. Trinity Force is done for the Ezreal, as is the Utals for Papa. So despite the fact that he's down very significantly in CS, does still have that first item completion. We'll see if the side of DeathMark Esports are feeling confident enough to contest for that objective. They did at least manage to get one of the grubs. So they have not been completely shut out in that objective department, but certainly starting to fall a little bit behind already.
Yeah, we do see that Sound has his Hollow Radiance done here and is already building towards even more MR. So we're going to be able to start matching the wave clear now as Gwen. So now for Dwami, it's all about you need to get more extended trades and really utilize that stacked Riftmaker passive and your Conquer and just get those 1,000 cuts just stacked up. It feels weird, but you're not going to like win the push war anymore in some ways. It's all about just like actually fighting the Sound now for extended periods. Here we go. Dwami sticking on top of the Sound, cutting off any escape angles with that ult.
Why are we watching top lane again? Okay, Rorschach maybe he is actually getting snipped a little bit here. He is a shield. He's fine. The dragon, not fine. The dragon was taken by Rigor Mortis. That is going to be double dragon over to Akuma. I knew watching top lane was a bad idea.
It's very interesting. You don't get it as your stupid jungler and carrying out objectives.
You're right.
Yeah, you need to focus on the men fighting each other and doing damage.
Okay.
Look at all that damage was dust happen up there.
Yeah. Those damage numbers for Dwami, stonks going up.
Yeah, crazy high.
So high. It is a Chemtexo this game, so upon further reflection, maybe top lane actually was the place to watch.
Yeah.
I don't really know anymore.
Looks like we got something happening here. That is Arcadius. Never mind, not Ezreal roaming up for these. Stupid Nico.
I'm glad I wasn't the first one to get Nico'd.
Yeah.
That is good for me. Rift Herald is alive.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Everybody's getting ready for that. We see both AD carries just kind of sitting down here. Don't imagine anything's going to really happen down there because Ezreal should win out in any of the trades, and Papa's probably just going to sit under his tower, which is still alive, so he has that going for him.
It does really feel, Storm, like we've got that very unfortunate situation that we've talked about quite a bit in the past. The triple losing lane situation at the side of DeathMark Esports it's very real right now.
Yeah, they don't have a winning lane. The jungler is also behind.
Doku is on the enemy wolves. And he is going to get the wolves and then probably die. He's going to dash over to Rigor Mortis, who is going to be forced to flash back over the wall. And Arcadius is going to get hit by the Aqua Prison and the Charm, and the arrow is going to connect onto the Ezreal as well. So Listener does come out the tidal wave for some peel. And DeathMark Esports are going to be able to escort their jungler out to safety. Wolf heist successful.
Yep. That's a big win, we can tell, right? Wool's worth so much money. Let's see, how much was that in gold? Like 200? Is that what we just secured for ourselves?
Much, but some you know, probably over 100.
Yeah,
marginal.
Huge win.
Massive.
I mean, to be fair, they didn't lose any summoners for that, right? Really, and they got Flash Ghost out of Kitty. So that's a pretty big win.
And Flash out of Rigor Mortis as well.
Yeah, so maybe we can start playing for that here. Doku looking for something down here in the bot lane. That is a Nico.
Doku feeling emboldened after the successful wolf heist. Gonna get off
and we got
trade there.
We got the 2 plates there that were there thanks to that crystalline overgrowth. So Papa able to get something. Sad to say that Rigor Mortis is counter jungling currently, and Doku has had 2 camps stolen from him, I think. No, wait, the Gromp is still there. Yeah, Gromp's still there. Never mind.
But blue buff for wolves does still feel a little bit favorable towards the Vi.
Yeah.
Dragon number 3, 90 seconds. And, you know, as previously mentioned, Storm, it is a Chemtech Soul. How important do you think it is that the side of DeathMark Esports do contest this next dragon? How much priority are we putting on this objective as a DeathMark Esports enjoyer?
I think for them, you kind of need to wait for your Ashe to have Infinity Edge before you can start this, right? I don't think you can fight this 3rd dragon here. I think you're giving this one up. I think you should be trying to get something onto this Gwen here before she finishes her Dusk and Dawn. Get maybe that shutdown and onto Kitty or something in mid lane. See if you can catch anything like that. I feel like that's what I'm wanting to try and play for. I don't think this dragon is really fightable. And no one in your team's like in parity in terms of items. So that was a really okay, that bubble was not hitting anyone ever, but you can see that coming out.
A for effort.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sometimes you just need to throw a bubble out there. That's all right.
Yeah. You see the vision cones getting exploded, so there's no vision anymore for either team now. That is kind of the one benefit of the Chemtech map. -1 there for that poor cannon minion.
Right, and goes Doku. Lightning is not going to strike, though, onto Rigor Mortis. Some Mystic shots starting to pepper in onto these DeathMark members. Teleport towards the bottom side for Dwami. A lot of priority for Akuma being placed on this objective, as the Herald is going to be summoned up in the mid lane to try to get themselves that priority. Is very common play. Try to utilize Shelly in the mid lane to try to get the priority you need to secure the dragon. But Shelly's going to be dealt with very quickly. And now the side of DeathMark Esports are going to have the opportunity to move into this river. Dragon is being chunked down pretty low already, though. It's down to about half. Doku trying to get in towards this pit, and now the turn for the fight is going to commence as they find the knockup onto Javi. The Nami gets taken down first. The Dragon, though, stolen away by the Jin Zhao, and now Doku still fighting in the pit, is eventually going to get taken down by Rigor Mortis, and now it's going to be the Spirit Rush over the wall for GQB. The RA trying to flash away, trying to survive, but Dwami on the chase, looking for a few more snips, as the charm is going to land, but the Gwen is going to finish off the mid laner. Dwami on a rampage. The dragon was stolen away, but it's going to be Akuma Peacemakers who win out in the fight.
Yeah, and they're losing a whole bunch of plates down here in the bot lane. You can see Twami had that wave. They might even be able to get this mid lane wave. Kitty, you're really not doing enough damage to Sun. I think you should have just hit the tower there. Oh, Rigor Mortis getting kind of low here.
Yeah, he is. Gonna have to flash out of that decimating smash. And now in comes Kitty. He's gonna be able to find that burst damage onto the Nami. And the Scion gets taken down as well. And Chancro Arrow, though, onto Arcadius. And in goes Rigor Mortis with the Vault Breaker towards the zombie. Gonna keep that support alive. Beautiful team play there from Akuma. They're gonna be able to pick up a couple more kills.
Okay, so stock from this dragon. We lost our bot lane tier 2. We had, what, everyone on our team die, basically. So you can see that it was really good of an engage there by Rorschach, right? He got on top of Kentology and Labubu and and completely like zoned them out of the fight. So that was the real reason I think this fight was as close as it was. Scion just team fighting prowess really on display there. You can see Dwami, Poppy as well on that Gwen, just being able to rip through people as well. This Dusk and Dawn now finished, and now we're going for a needless item. This is a very weird Gwen build coming out. Generally, you go full AP with like death cap and stuff, or you go for this more on hit stuff. I generally don't see the mix of the two. But Vision Ward coming down right now here. This is everyone.
Contest over that Vision around the Baron Pit right now, as it has spawned just a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah. Baron Dance should begin here. We do see that there is a little bit of extra time there. Really wishing this Gwen was sitting in the bot lane here for Dwami. I mean, I guess he's already cleared that tier 2, but can start trying to pressure towards that tier 3 or an inhib here.
Chris Laro not going to land there for Papa. Dwami with the miss, still going to get knocked up actually by the decimating smash. And he's double onslaught as well. The Gwen going to be shut down, taken out by Doku. Big pick for the side of DeathMark to find as they teleport in towards this top lane as well for GQB. But after the fact, I'm not sure what the thought process was there, but certainly a big kill for them to find.
And it's giving them a bounty as well, so that's really going to even up the gold lead here. It's only, what, 4K now? Difference?
Yeah, about 5K.
Yeah.
The difference. Still an advantage for Akuma, to be certain, as the side of K-Technology was able to get that from the mid lane as well. It's going to be a Vault Breaker on to Papa, and immediately the Ash going to get taken down. And now it is Doku trying to fight this one out, but he's heavily outnumbered. No friends for the Jin Zhao in the area, and that is going to be a kill for Rigor Mortis, number 3 for the Vi. And just as there was a little bit of a sign of life there for DeathMark, immediately going to be Akuma fighting back as they're now on to the Baron. No jungler alive for DeathMark. This should be a free objective over to the number 1 seed.
Yeah, should be an easy kill, secure for them. We can see that no one from DeathMark even going to be close to coming by. Unfortunately, having 5 people up there means that those turret plates do stack up those resistances, so it took them a long time to kill that tier 1 top lane to get them that bounty. So they had a really long time before they were able to get that, and then that kind of secure out meant that it was really hard for them. And now it's just that play of how do you deal with Gwen with split push with Baron and the rest of Akuma just being able to dictate the pace of the map, because I don't think this team really has the wave clear to deal with these super minions very well. I mean, I guess you can just stand silent in front of something and have him soak up damage to get that, but just does not feel like a good spot to be in right now for DeathMark.
Yeah, it really does feel like they are running out of options here. We've got another dragon spawning pretty soon, but even if they're able to somehow steal this one away, it's not like Chemtech Soul is really a win condition by itself. Charm, though, going to land onto Rigor Mortis, and Chanting Crystal Arrow as well. They find the lockdown onto the jungler, but the counter engage comes out from Akuma defending their jungler. Rigor Mortis still alive, even has the GA as well as he goes back in so deep with the cease and desist. Rigor Mortis, where you going, mate? He's
dead.
Gonna try to flash away. He Vault Breakers, he dies. Shut down by GQB. And yeah, that's a big counterpunch now for DeathMark. A little bit of an overstep for Akuma.
So that's how you do it. That's how you win this, right? Is you just, the enemy team just randomly tries to faceplant into your tier 2 tower. and chases incredibly deep. And then you win the fight, and now they should be able to hopefully get something.
That's for Doku. No, the counter overstep is not what we're looking for here. The shift away for technology. Maybe he's just dead. He's going down so low. Papa Sukra finds the last arrow. They take down the Ezreal. And DeathMark Esports know exactly what they're doing. They get a couple of more kills. And they're going to look for their second dragon now as well.
Yeah, Rigor Mortis is still dead. So this is a secure for them. They're tied up the dragon score here. Getting that team fight win, that's pretty big. They got some major shutdowns there as well, right? Labubu's the only one who's kind of left with one here, so I feel like that was a huge misstep from Akuma. I cannot believe they gave DeathMark away back into this game.
Yeah, it really did feel like Akuma pretty much had this on lock.
Yeah.
Especially after getting the Baron so early on, but I guess just feeling a little bit too confident. You know, they definitely gave over a couple of shutdowns now. The gold lead is down to about 3.5K. It was like 6K earlier on.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, we still have a Baron left for Akuma here on this Mel, Labubu, having that. And they've finished another key item. Okay.
It's timed out now, yeah. What do you think about this Rocket Belt on Ahri? I feel like Rocket Belt in general has just been... both mid laners actually have the Rocket Belt. It's become so much higher priority lately. I'm not convinced on the Ahri though. In particular, it feels like you already have 3 dashes. Do you really need is it really that efficient?
I feel like most people play it because it's just like it's the flash thing, right? It's like having what was the ADC mythic, the Gale Force. It just gives you that safety of like if some skill shot you know is going to hit you and you don't have anything to do about it, you can just rocket belt out of the way. I think it's Chovy, right, is like a huge buyer of this item and talking about how it's so efficient and things like that, that the stats it gives you as well as having all this utility. So I think that's why it's really risen in priority, but that's the thing though. It's something you have to actually utilize, right? If you're not utilizing the passive of it, you should have just been building a death cap and stuff, right? A rocket belt still... that active, sorry. The rocket belt costs as much as 2 death caps does. Like two needlessly large rods. Sorry.
Oh yeah. Oh, Hobby is going to get wrapped around on here and is going to get absolutely destroyed. They just had no idea that Akuma was here, but the Mel is going to get taken down. Dismantling smash from the bush. That's going to be a little bit of a counter attack coming out from DeathMark, but Papa Sukra in a really awkward position, going to get cut down by Dwami, and now Rorschach on the retreat. Hit by the Vault Breaker of Rigor Mortis. The Mystic Chuck getting connected as well. There's the root from the Nico. It is AK Technology picking up the last hit as they get that kill onto the frontliner as well. So that is going to be 4 for 1. Massive fight win for Akuma in the enemy jungle. Only GQB alive right now to try to defend this mid inhibitor. It's going to be Akuma not pushing their luck this time. They're going to be happy with the inner turret and the team fight, and they'll back away.
Yeah, I just feel like that play was really odd. I don't... Oh, God, we burned Spirit Rush too. Did we? Or was that just Rocket Belt?
No, it was just Rocket Belt.
Okay, thank God.
Yeah.
Anyway, but like, I just have no idea how they just had no idea, right? There's all these vision cones and things like that in the jungle. That this is the one thing about Chemtech map is it provides comebacks because you're able to effectively check and clear things because of these extended blast pants. You can see them. You know, it does mean the enemy team can clear your vision super early. But it means that you're able to just get vision back super easily and clear things out yourself. But
it goes Rigor Mortis again, but immediately gonna have to flash away. Was worried about overstepping again there. Baron is alive once again. Control over the area currently for Akuma, but we see DeathMark as 5 pushing down the mid lane. That is going to be a route onto Rorschach, but that's his job to soak up that CC. The Scion's still healthy for now. Pushing forward, Doku dashing in. K-Technology to shift away, but still hit by that Dismantling smash, and it's going to kill. Over to the end of the pop blossom, though, is massive from the Nico. Rigor Mortis dashing back in, and the Gwen going to do a lot of damage, but the charm connects onto Dwami, who is going pretty low, but has the life steal as they take down Doku. And now dashing back in is Dwami. That is not the right angle for Rorschach on that decimating smash, and he's going to get cut down as well. it is going to be another team fight win for the side of the Peacemakers. They get another 4-for-1, and now they can easily look towards the Nash.
Yeah, I don't think they should get the Nasher. I really feel like this is something that you should just take this mid-inhib here. But we can see it was a great play from Doku getting that shift forward so that Rorschach could land that decimating smash, but just look at the turnaround damage. How does Papa Sucre play this, man? It just seems impossible to be Ashe this game and not having any way to kite away from all of the CC and stuff. That just feels so difficult.
I mean, it looked pretty easy, but we got to give credit to Arcadius there for the 5-man Pop Blossom. I mean, beautiful stuff from the support. Really helping to turn that play around. And now it's going to be Baron on for Akuma. They are back up to a 7,000 gold lead. Going to look towards this potential soul point as well. You have the side of DeathMark pushing down mid lane right now. They are going to be able to get that mid outer turret. Here comes the Scion, going to find that ultimate onto the Gwen, who does flash away the tidal wave, though. Going to find the knockup, and Dwami is going to get taken down by the Ari as a trade back onto Papa Sucre. K-Technology using both summoners to shift away as they do take down the Ari as well. And that's going to be a double root from the Solar Snare. Here comes the Golden Eclipse, and it's going to be Kitty to help finish off the team fight. Picks up the triple kill, and Akuma, it looked scary for a moment. They do tidy things up. They will go up to soul point, and they will maintain control in this game number 1.
Yeah, but I'm just shocked that these teams are going for these fights. Look at the state of these side lanes, man. There's so much CS on the map that's just getting absolutely abandoned right now. I mean, Kitty is finally able to go up to this top wave here, but it's crazy that DeathMark didn't send anyone to collect this bot lane tower, that like Fizz is now trying to clear this out. Like, this tower's down super low now, right? And it's all just from minion damage. I don't think anyone from Akuma has hit this thing. There's just so much CS on this map getting absolutely shoveled into these towers right now that it's crazy to see that more people in this game don't have the CS numbers you expect to see out of these diamond games.
Yeah, definitely. It does feel like, the team's placing more priority on the Chemtech Soul than perhaps we would expect, right?
Yeah, they're placing a lot of priority on this, and I don't think it's correct. Like, neither team really gets any benefit from it. Like, Dwami, Poppy probably wants it, but I feel like he's like the only person in this game where Chemtech Soul is actually like a useful buff, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice for like the Scion and the Xin Zhao as well, I would say. The individual dragons are certainly nice for the Nami. But yeah, it feel like the individual Chemtech dragons have so much value where you're forced to fight 5v5 to the death for each dragon. It's not a Hextech Soul, as there is going to be a nice arrow into the Scion ultimate. Just barely. K-Technology is going to be able to shift away from that one. Oh, actually, it was just a clone. It wasn't it? That connected onto. And Rigor Mortis comes down to half. But able to Vault Breaker away. GQB does not find that charm, as you say, Storm. And it was a decent attempt on that engage, but Akuma able to shrug it off in the end.
Yeah, and they're missing all their buttons now as well. They just got the tidal wave for their last kind of engage point here.
Baron has fallen off again, but the siege is still going to continue for the side of Akuma. Don't quite find that Solar Snare onto Rorschach. As we have Doku trying to match the Gwen in the mid lane right now, but not really able to do so. Dwami's going to continue that push. Here comes the Scion ultimate again. It's the clone that is going to block that. The Nico engage onto Doku to try to stop that Xin Zhao from getting onto the backline. Rigor Mortis now with the counter engage as they take down the Xin Zhao, and Vi with the GA to be Arcadius, and Kitty, beautiful reflect there on the tidal wave. The charm is going to miss, and Rorschach's going to get cut down, and goes Rigor Mortis again without the GA this time. He'll be shut down on that Vi. But it's going to be Kitty dominating. It finds that additional kill onto the Ashe. And now it is only GQB and Hoppy alive to try to defend the bases, and the minion waves continue to pour in.
Yeah, but they don't have that much here. I mean, they guess they'll get this top lane tower here, but I don't think think they can really push for this inhib here. Like, GQB is really healthy, and Fizz also has a lot here as well, so I don't think they're going to get anything important here. Like, sure, they get these towers, but these inhibs still stand. I don't like this for Akuma. I really wish they were able to just get something bigger for themselves. I don't get why they stuck around for this really extended siege. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
For Akuma, I mean, I completely disagree. I think getting both of the mid inhibitor turret as well as that top inhibitor turret is extremely valuable. I mean, you've completely opened the base now on the side of DeathMark Esports. And it feels like if you just get one more team fight win for the side of Akuma, which they've gotten many already in this game, you're going to be able to get 2 inhibitors. And at that point, it's going to be almost impossible for DeathMark Esports to play the macro game. I feel like that was absolutely worth it.
Okay, I just feel like they just need to be getting more time for Poppy to just be able to play on the sideline and get these things done without the rest of the team having to, like, be in these fights and giving these shutdowns over and stuff. DeathMark has gotten so much gold and shutdown money from these fights. That was, again, another huge shutdown going over from Rigor Mortis in that last fight.
Yeah, I mean, certainly there is a little bit more gold that did go over towards DeathMark as well, but there are 10,000 gold behind now. I mean, it's still a massive lead for the side of Akuma. They're in a really comfortable spot here. It's 4 items done for the Mal plus the Medjai's, 4 items done on the Gwen as well, 4 items done on the Ezreal. We are seeing some item completions come through for the side of DeathMark as well, but this is something we talked about in the draft, right? It just feels like for the side of Akuma, they just have all of these threats. It feels like it's going to be really tough for DeathMark to deal with. Rorschach trying to walk up towards this minion wave. That Scion is going to get chunked immediately. They do manage to clear out the wave. The charm is going to land onto Kitty, who tries to rocket melt the wave, burns down to the Leandres. Two-shot barrage does come out. It's going to be the flash away for Dwami as well. It's Rigor Mortis now on the counter. He gave it to the Vine. Now he's going to get chunked out the Gwen. Taken down as well. Everybody's dead. Everybody's dead on the side of Akuma. They've been completely wiped. It's the first team fight win of the game for DeathMark Esports, and that might be the only one that they need.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that thing. If they don't have a tank, they don't have a front line. You can't just randomly 5v5 an ARAM. You need to play 4v4. There's so much space that Rorschach is able to complete, and I'm pretty sure you're right. I think this game's over, but if they don't win on this push, they're going to lose the game. Look at their base.
That's 20 seconds on Kitty, the minion wave. They have 2 cannons there, and Ezreal is so terrible at trying to clear out these waves. The first Nexus turret already taken down.
Please just ignore them.
Trying to get towards the wave, but he cannot do it. It's going to be DeathMark Esports, the number 8 seed out of Mastaya, taking the win in game number 1.
Wow, what an upset there. Akuma having the win the whole way through. Were so firmly in control, but they didn't play to their win cons. They started playing 5v5, and I don't get it. I talked about this. Their team has no answer to the Gwen split push. All they had to do is just let Gwen win the game for them and just play 4v4 and poke, and they just kept trying to team fight for these stupid Chemtech dragons that neither team cared about. It's madness. Why are you guys not fighting at the right points? Why are you guys not letting your team win the way you should win? It's crazy to me, but great job. I mean, if you're the side of DeathMark, that's the dream. You got the 5v5, the fight. That was an incredible charm there from the end on GQD onto Kitty. I mean, what a well-played fight from the side of DeathMark. I'm so impressed from them.
Yeah, I mean, I really would love to get another look at that last team fight, to be honest. It was, I think, as you say, the charm from GQB that kind of started that off. Oh, we're going to get
we can see it here. Look at that charm, and look at how quickly they get charmed. And it's 4v5 now. And look at Rorschach just buying space, and Ezreal is just pumping all of his damage into a Scion who just doesn't care.
Yeah. Wow. And it's kind of all of those pick tools that for DeathMark Esports that we kind of talked about before as well. That's like, you wouldn't necessarily expect that late in the game, this composition to be able to, execute that cleanly in the team fight. But it was about that initial setup onto one of the main carries for the side of Akuma that really allowed that to happen. GQB kind of finding the charm at the most crucial moment.
Yeah.
Insane. It really felt like DeathMark were losing for almost that entire game, but they get the fight win when it mattered most. You were saying the Zonias, yeah, it just didn't come out. It wasn't able to react to the charm at the most critical moment for Kitty. So, wow. K-Technology did the most damage in the game, but he lost.
Shocking to me. I mean, I guess it's just the Ezreal factor, right? You just get free poke onto Sion and stuff like that. So,
yeah. Who's our POG?
It's GQP. He won the game.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it has to be, doesn't it? Yeah.
I don't think it's anyone else. I mean, Rorschach, despite having that abysmal scoreline, was like incredible on that front line. I think Doku also played really well as that Xin Zhao. Like, his early game sucked, but his mid game and late game team fighting was really good. But I don't think it was Papa Sucre or Fizz. I don't think they really did all that much that was all that impressive. They followed up on their team getting these picks, but they didn't individually do anything. So I think it's GQB on Ari.
I like it. Yeah, GQB kind of finding that pick towards the very end of the game when his team needed it most. And that's going to be DeathMark Esports taking the victory in game number 1. Don't go anywhere, guys. It looks like we might have a series here. All right, everybody, here we go. Game number 2. It's going to be Akuma electing to stay on that red side Storm, which I'm sure you're a bit of a fan of.
I mean, they had 3 winning lanes, they had a 10k gold lead, and they got 2 Barons. The fact that they didn't win that lane and that game is kind of criminal in my mind, personally. Yeah. Just misplayed the hell out of some pretty key moments in my mind. But we're seeing bans coming through here. I feel like it's been the first couple of bans in between these teams in game 1. Thresh was the last ban for Akuma last time. See if that continues over. Instead, it's the Ori. Okay. So mid lane pool getting pinched a little here. The Azir is still open. It's kind of like some of the big picks. Wukong here currently getting hovered. I feel like he is pretty strong, but kind of his classic pairings are kind of out of the way with both the Ori gone, Ari's gone. Still gonna take it. Still like this champion a lot. We saw the early game from both junglers being really quiet last game, so I think this Wukong definitely rises in priority if that's going to be the case here as well.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Typical counters into the Wukong, you're looking at AP junglers, things like the Lilia is a pretty strong counter. Or,
Diana.
I don't know what the AP junglers are meta right now. Like, Brand is not really a real jungler. Lilia is kind of the main one that I'm looking at as kind of the premier Wukong counter, I guess.
All right, that's a Rise lock in there for Akuma. That's really strange to me. I feel like this champion sucks, but it's definitely one of those things that every single person who plays mid lane in League of Legends has a lot of time on Rise because he's generally really good. Every year at Worlds, Riot buffs him for the SKT team to win. Faker, Psyops, that's just me complaining because they always ruin my pick'ems and then I never win and I get mad because I'm an SKT hater. There's the Diana that I was talking about. I generally like seeing this champion because it means you get to play Yasuo or something really exciting with it. I still think Diana's pretty good. She's good with Dusk and Dawn. So I'm hoping we see something spicy. Galio gonna come down with this Wukong for some dive. I feel like that's pretty good, especially into kind of some of this engage that Diana and Bryze are both kind of offering you. The ability to just taunt up and defend your team as well with the Galio ult is pretty valuable. Same with this Wukong. It's hard for Akuma to kind of get onto a lot of these champions here.
Yeah, definitely, and they're already a little bit AP heavy, so a little bit of extra value there for the Galio in particular.
Gaia as well.
It's pretty nice.
Bacon in here for DeathMark. I really like this pick as well, for sure. Just giving you like more answers into this like engage angles and stuff like that. You know, forces that look at Akuma now needing to think, what about Rakan? Do we have to ban this or take this? That can mess up some of their draft plans as well. And you know, for Akuma, they don't really have to commit to the all-in thing here. They can just kind of have Diana more as that side lane focus and things like that. Try and play split a little bit more on the map. Something Diana's pretty proficient at, and I think that's what they're going to go towards. We see Caitlyn here going to get locked in. Generally really good in Desire just because you outrange her in all ways, right? You have a really strong early game, something that kind of is Zaya's big thing. You match the power spike of them. I feel both these champions kind of have a real power trough situation of when they're not that good, but then they hit that like 3-item mark and they suddenly become really powerful again. Kuma is going to ban this Rakan away. We do see that coming out as the first ban for them. Does make sense. Really strong pairing. Also really good with both Wukong and with Galio as well, just being able to give up more CC and things like that. So definitely not surprised to see that ban come through. I'm thinking we're also going to see some other engaged support come out here as well for the side of Akuma in their second ban. Probably the Thresh that they banned maybe in round 1, maybe the Nautilus. For the side of DeathMark, I feel like they really are kind of worried about Morgana. I feel like that champion, its support seems pretty good. I mean, she's not a good support, but she seems really annoying. The Karma as well, just kind of these classic Caitlyn pairings.
Yeah, I mean, again, if we do see sort of an aggressive mage pairing alongside this Caitlyn, then Akuma are going to be indexing really heavily into magic damage, which is scary into the Galio, and it's going to give, you know, DeathMark's top laner an opportunity to you know, pick some kind of tank that can stack a lot of magic resist as well. You know, Rorschach could go towards something like that. So we'll see what the Caitlyn pairing is going to be. You know, already Akuma are kind of, feels like they're kind of trying to set up for that same sort of situation where they have 3 winning lanes. It feels like they're going to have the opportunity to try to set that up. I will say also for Kitty on this Rise, you know, it's something that Kitty did pull out last week in that win over the Allegation Beaters. It's game number 2, 13, 2, and 11 on the Rise. Storm.
Yeah, they picked Seraphine Caitlyn.
Yes, they did.
That sounds horrible.
Why does it sound horrible, Storm?
You have no slow setups for Seraphine. There is a lot of damage on the enemy team that can pop Seraphine really easily, and I don't think her Encore ult is all that good into what they have set up. I mean, I guess you have the ability to like extend it with Diana and things like that, but I don't feel like you have a lot of like follow-up. There's gonna be like a Seraphine ult into like the Diana wombo, and then like no one is going to follow up on it, and Caitlyn is going to click Q on somebody. Like there's nothing big with it. Rumble's also banned. They banned Rumble themselves for the side of Akuma, so there isn't that coming up from the top lane. Maybe they could look for like a Kennen angle or something like that, but DeathMark locking in the Renekton here, kind of that incredible blind pick.
I mean, the Kennen angle does feel pretty real, but again, like that would be too much magic damage, and they're going to go, it looks like, towards the Garen.
Okay. So
Is this a good matchup into the Renekton Storm? What do we know about this matchup?
basically right now how it works is Garen is in a spot where I would say he is overbuffed because he's good in like high elo. And basically if you are another melee fighter, Garen is good into you. Like with the exception of like Camille or something like that. Like if you are a guy who needs to sit there and auto attack, Garen is going to out auto attack you with like his E trades and things like that. But his numbers I think are too high right now. He feels incredibly frustrating to play against. I think this matchup's really good. You're able to time the Renekton W stun with your own W and get that CC like immunity. Basically, it puts your tenacity to like 90% or something when you use that courage, I believe is the name of it, the Garen W. Silences are really powerful against Renekton as well. You can kind of bait Renekton into popping Dominus early because you threaten those angles with your Demacian Justice. So you can force him to ult really early and then you're just able to run away with your Q movement speed. I think this matchup's good. I don't think Garen's good this game at all. Like outside of this top lane isolated matchup, I don't think you're ever killing Xayah as Garen. Galio, I guess, is also pretty good for Garen, but like Wukong is also really tricky for them because you're always wondering if you're ulting the clone and things like that. The team fight angles for Garen I don't think are very good this game. You don't really have anything to like really buff you up or like abilities to like get you into interesting places. Like your support can't reposition you or anything like that. So I don't like the Akuma draft in some ways. I liked what DeathMark has. I think they just have a really solid team fighting comp here, and I don't really like Akuma's. I don't think their front line is nearly as there as it is for DeathMark. I don't think they have enough CC, and I think DeathMark might come up in this series. I think the upsets might continue.
Interesting. You did say something very similar last game, Storm. You were talking about how you enjoyed DeathMark's draft quite a bit more. They were losing for most of that game, and then it turned out that my caster curse was actually more powerful.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, I think we should test it again because I'm kind of leaning towards Akuma's direction. I think you're talking about how it's not a good team fight angle for Garen, and I'm sitting here like I don't think a good team fighting angle for Garen exists. I don't think that's a real thing.
But it doesn't exist for Gwen either, and we played that last game for 40 minutes.
No, it exists for Gwen. It's a team fighting angle for Gwen absolutely exists. What do you mean?
She wants to split push and then press W and one-shot someone from the side.
Oh, okay. I'm just getting word that we need to leave the client. And are we rejoining the same lobby production? Or, oh my, yeah, the entire client seems like it's doing something right now. Interesting. Okay, so we'll get back to that in a moment. As far as this draft is concerned, I do feel like Akuma have found themselves a pretty good situation. The big question mark for me is our game one POG GQB on this Galio. I feel like is in a position where he could have a pretty favorable matchup into the Rise. And I feel like if GQB is going to be able to maintain that priority in the mid lane and allow his jungler, allow this Wukong to sort of stack up some early objectives, then I think the team fighting power of this DeathMark Esports composition is going to present a really significant problem for Akuma to try to deal with. But I think if the Rise is actually able to come out on top and threaten some earlier roams and towards some side lanes that are already winning, then I think Akuma could just run over this game and absolutely dominate. So, but I mean, even if that happens, like they could still fumble it at the end. They could go for some fight and just get outplayed in a fight towards the end of the game. And
yeah, I think there's a lot of worries because for DeathMark, I think there's a lot of worries if you do not have a lot of really good lanes, right? You have a good lane in your mid lane matchup, but I don't think your top lane matchup's very good. Your bot lane matchup should be, in theory, absolutely miserable just because it's Caitlyn versus two ranged. You have Caitlyn and a ranged support versus Braum. Braum is not going to do anything. He's just going to sit there and be a punching bag. And Xayah is also going to get shoved into her turret all day long. So this is like, Akuma has such a good lane to play for, and they have a farming jungler who can dive really well once she hits 6. And, there's Wukong on the other side. You don't have to worry about ganks, really. So I think the jungle matchup this game is going to be absolutely massive because I think both these guys are going to have so much more gold than like they're used to, right? They both have the ability to clear pretty well. And they're both going to have really impactful ultimate moments. So I think the jungle matchup's really where I'm going to be focusing my eyes on. I feel like there's a lot of opportunities here as Braum to get some really good roams in here onto Rise and things like that, get some collapses, because there's so much CC that Galio can provide with you, and if you're able to get both of you, just the base damage of Galio Braum is going to pop Rise like a balloon.
I don't know it, man. I mean, like, is Braum going for roams? Like,
yeah,
is Xayah really going to be okay 1v2 against Caitlyn Seraphine? And if Zaya's not relevant to the game, can DeathMark Esports really win in the team fights without a ranged carry? I don't know.
Yeah. There's a lot of questions, but it's all about how the teams actually like do stuff, right? We saw there was a little bit of fumbles in both those sides, and it was all about the 5v5s last game, right? Is Akuma, is their coach yelling at them loud enough to go play side lane for side lanes, you idiots? Like, I don't know if that's going to happen or if they're going to come in with the same mentality, because if it's straight up 5v5s, DeathMark's going to win. If it's not, and there's side lane happening, Akuma's going to win. But I think from what we saw last game, we're going to have 5v5s and dragons are going to be a big focus. And if that happens, I think DeathMark's going to be able to, has the buttons and the ability to outplay and make the team fights happen.
That's fair enough, Storm. I definitely could see that point of view. We'll have to see. I mean, that was a really shocking kind of victory for the side of DeathMark Esports in that game number 1. And you know what else is shocking, guys? The incredible deals that you could find on Zen Market. Zen Market is your one-stop solution for buying products directly from Japan. They'll help you buy items from over 10,000 different shops, as well as place bids on auctions on your behalf. They'll even consolidate all your items safely into one box, and they can ship internationally. They provide excellent customer service in 19 different languages, which is why Zen Market is trusted by over 2 million users worldwide. Check the panel below the stream or click the link in the chat to try them out now. If you sign up with promo code Aegis, AEGIS, you'll get 3,000 yen off your first international shipping fee. Crazy deals from Zen Market, just like we saw that crazy win from DeathMark Esports in game number 1. We'll see if they've got another one in them or if it's going to be Akuma Peacemaker evening up the series. Don't go anywhere, guys. The quarterfinals of ADL Winter 2026 will continue in just a moment. All right, everybody, welcome on to the Rift for game number 2. DeathMark Esports, after losing for most of game number 1, managed to find the victory, and now we've got GQB already moving into the jungle. Oh, this is the fake out. We've got Doku on the wraparound, able to get the Raptor ward down while GQB was distracting them, moving in the jungle there. Very nice.
Okay, so a couple of things I want to bring up. One, I hate Seraphine. I want to root against her, but there is Pengu Garen for Dwami Poppy, and I want that to win a lot. So Skin War, definitely going for Akuma here.
Yeah, I mean, so the fact that the Pengu Garen was not Dwami's choice, is that relevant or no?
What do you mean it wasn't his choice? Did he complain that he was Pengu?
All Garens are Pengu for the duration of this patch because April Fools.
Oh, really? Okay, I did not know that.
Dear.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't know if that changes anything, but I love Pengu Garen. I think that is the funniest thing Rad has done in a very long time. I love that April Fool's thing.
Yeah, yeah. They commit to it too. It's the whole patch.
Yeah. See kind of how we were expecting things to be going in a lot of ways. They're losing in bot lane very badly. Papa is getting absolutely pooped on.
He did get 1 CS, which is more than 0.
It is.
Notably.
He's also lost 80% of his health and used his health pot, so I don't think that's going quite to plan. I think he's losing a little harder than he was last time. I think it's fair to say.
Oh, there's a nice little bit of a trade from Rorschach, but does lose out in the end, although that turret shot onto Dwami does even things up a bit.
Yeah, I really feel like there might have been an Ignite flash kill angle there if you were Dwami. You probably would have died for it, but it would have definitely sent a message.
Our junglers are pathing towards opposite sides. We've got Doku heading towards this top lane right now, while Rigamortis is going to be pathing down towards the bot lane, where he does have so much priority to work with at the moment. We do see in mid lane, here comes Doku, going to be going in. Rigamortis is taken out. Or Rigamortis, rather, is still on the bot side of the map. It's going to be Dwami picking up that first blood, while Doku's able to trade it back, takes down the Garen for his first kill, 1-1 early on.
Yeah, unfortunately, as Renekton, even if you press W on your opponent, they can still ignite you. So, died. Did get the bait in there, so he has a kill over to his Wukong, which is going to help him out. I was talking about, I think these jungle matchups are going to be really, really big. However, I think Papa Sucre is absolutely boned down here in the bot lane.
Yeah.
Is going to need some bailing out here.
Caitlyn Seraphine is... Okay.
Oh my god, he died.
We're just dead to the high note. Oh dear.
And that's what I was talking about with the Garen numbers seeming to be a little high to me. I don't think an E and a Q should do that much damage at level 4. But
even when Pengu?
Yeah. Yeah, even when Pengu.
Well,
I really think this was just the Riot psyops that they needed Garen in an OP state so everyone would play Pengu Garen. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, it worked.
Yeah.
Dwami is very Pengu right now and is also very strong. Winning out handily against Rorschach, who already used the TP, is now going to have to hoof it back up into the lane. But it's a massive lead in the bot lane as well for the side of Akuma. The big question for us is, are they going to be able to translate these lane leads into a game victory? We've got quite a ways to go before we can actually answer that question, but... I just don't think we can really be fully convinced until we see the Nexus explode after what we saw in game number 1.
Yeah, there was quite a fumble, I think it's fair to say, for them. They have a lot of tools this game, and there's not as many tools for DeathMark, but like I was talking about, if this game just translates into straight up 5v5s, I really feel like you'd be really excited for DeathMark here if you're pulling for that upset win. We do see Doku is looking here onto Dwami. Rorschach might be able to bait this. Runs over that ward there. Dwami knows Wukong is here.
Still kind of hanging out. Does get up to level 6, but in comes the Wukong and the Demacian Justice. The big old sword comes out of the sky, and Dwami Poppy picks up number 2.
So Dwami was baiting Rorschach, trying to bait Dwami. Dwami also knows he is so close on his 6-timer. Rorschach doesn't respect it. We can see as soon as this cannon minion's down, that's all it takes. And then there's just the Q into that ult ignite combo, the classic coming in from Pengu, man.
The ignite actually not even needed there. Just the spin into the ult. Dwami's still sitting on that ignite.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, the old counter bait. Revealing the trap card there. Dwami pulling that one out, picking up his second kill. Meanwhile, Dragon taken by Rigor Mortis on that bottom side of the map. Everything going the way of Akuma so far. Lead continuing to build in this bot lane as well. We've got about a 30 CS lead, just about, for the side of K-Technology. Absolutely massive. About to pick up his third turret plate as well, right around 6.5 minutes. Here comes the Wukong again into the top lane, who does have a Cyclone this time. Going to find that one onto Dwami, who does try to flash away. Our number 2 for the Wukong is, they just don't have enough lockdown, though. Dwami just flashes away. Is fine. Is K. Is Pengu.
Yeah, press W at the right time on that Garen, the Relentless Pursuit or whatever it is named. The stun from Renekton, getting W'd, that courage, giving you that CC resistance. Dwami able to stick around here, even going to be able to stick around with his Preservance, has Rigor Mortis to cover him if there's any sort of dive angle or anything like that. And that's pretty bad for Doku. It's going to put him pretty far behind in tempo. He's all of his bot side clamps to clear here as well. So gonna have to try and start making sure he can pick that up. We can see Rigor Mortis is like even in CS despite taking all that time to kill that dragon. So
this turret is over half dead. It's 7 minutes.
Yeah.
What do you think about the decision from Doku and from DeathMark to focus so heavily towards this top side? We'll save that for just a moment because Kitty is coming in now with the Realm Warp. We'll see. That's going to be the flash away for Rorschach. And he will be all right, but that is now going to make this matchup into the Garen even more difficult. Already down 20 CS to the Garen as the wave comes in.
Yeah, so I will say, if you're going to play this way, just abandon your ADC even more. Like, if you're not pathing bot lane, I'm sorry, but Fizz sitting here and pressing E and like watching his ADC die is not very useful. Just go roam as Braum, man. Like,
just give the tower.
Yeah, give the tower. It's going down in the next little while anyway, man. And once that's down, you have a safe spot for Xayah to farm. I would just roam and go somewhere else because you're not progressing your game into a winning state by sitting down here, right?
Yeah, the question kind of is if you're progressing your game into a losing state by allowing K-Technology to get that fed is kind of my question. But I mean, I hear you. You know, your point is well taken. We'll see how much longer they're going to be able to keep this bot outer turret alive. As K10 and Arcadius moving back in, you're going to get that fourth plate very easily.
I have a very important question in regards to this April Fool's patch that we're on. Can Caitlyn still stack the hats? She could with this skin in previous years.
I don't think so, but I'm not sure.
That's disappointing to me, but also makes sense because it was very annoying.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay. As Justice punch in on towards the rise, Kitty trying to walk this one off is going to burn the flash. The flash follow though for Doku gets the kill. In comes Rigor Mortis, finds the moonfall, but the heroic entrance coming out in response to Peel for the jungler.
Oh, but here's Dwami. Pengu time.
On the roam. No warrior trickster available for the Wukong, but the taunt is there for GQB, and it's going to be Doku actually getting out to safety. But that Renekton just teleported into 3 people.
He did do that. That was what we call in the business a Hishinshin TP, where you TP into a very, very awful position. Generally, it would be after you would get solo kill top lane and rage TP back to lane and watch the jungler stand on top of your teleport animation, and then you would go, "Oh God, I've committed a grave sin." Kind of similar there, and definitely a teleport that shouldn't have happened, and you got to watch yourself die in very slow motion.
Yeah, Rorschach really wishing that he still had the option to cancel teleport.
Yeah,
but that was a few years ago now where we had that option.
Yeah, I hated that. because it made it so you couldn't do certain like cool things with it anyway. That's when they like did the thing of like if your TP got canceled, it got like a huge refunded on as well. That was the part of it I really
remember that.
despised. That. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was probably not necessary. I think like canceling the TP, it still has the full cooldown. I think that would be fine, no?
I don't really think so, but whatever, because it just leads to like the bot lane shenanigans things happening.
Yeah, that's true. That was kind of annoying, I suppose.
Yeah, I did not like having 5v5s every game at like minute 4 into the game just randomly. It was a time.
Well, certainly the bot lane of DeathMark Esports wishes somebody could come save them right now. It's not really looking like it's going to happen at the moment. Dragon number 2 is currently alive, and there should be all the priority in the world for Akuma to try to take that one away. Well, the Scuttle Crab was just secured by Doku.
Yeah, so I will mention for the side of DeathMark, your Wukong is 2-0 and has Trinity Force done. He's pretty strong here. The rest of your team, not at all. We got a Spectre's Cowl done in the mid lane for GQB. Rorschach is getting proxied on currently by Dwami, and guessing they're just looking for a reset timer here or something like that. Otherwise, they really shouldn't be doing this because they want to be laning into this guy.
Yeah, I mean, it is a massive item advantage for the Garen. Here he comes now. Be able to find this decisive strike onto the Crocodile. You know, a lot of damage from the spin as well. Rorschach chunk down to just about half. Yeah. One more trade like that, and we're going to see another sword coming out of the sky. It's raining swords, potentially.
Amen.
Dragon started up by Akuma. In goes Doku into the pit, but locked down by the beat drop and the encore as well. The Cyclone is going to come out from the Wukong, and in comes the heroic entrance as well. Kate's analogy popping the ghost, able to kite this one out pretty easily. GQ drops a sponge back to join up with the rest of the team. The dragon will be taken, so double dragon over to Akuma, and we've got a Cloud Soul on the table this time around.
Okay, so that was maybe a little ambitious from Doku there. Was strong and had his Galio there to save him out, like bail him out. But Papa Sucre and Fizz just so far away from being able to contend or help out with that play, right? They were just shoved under their tower as that was going on. We do see a top lane, just all of the camps going away.
Yeah, at least Doku's not going to be doing any face checking right now, so the camps are going to be taken away, but the Wukong will not be taken away at the current time. Yeah,
I wonder if Rigor Mortis is going to be able to find a gank, or instead probably just going to look to power clear. Am I kidding?
Yeah, the Diana is very good at that.
Yep.
So likely just going to be looking to take away all of these camps on our own side of the map. Most likely. We do have the Herald coming up in about a minute, so we'll see about the timing on that objective. Right now we see Doku trying to maybe get some counter jungling done, but it's tough to make that happen without the bot priority, as we do see K-Technology and Arcadius making their way back out onto the map, and here comes Rigor Mortis as well. Javi spotted out in the Banana Brush. Rune Prison onto Doku. Oh, the Wukong taking a big chunk of damage there from the Seraphine.
Yeah, feels pretty bad to be playing against like triple AP bot side, basically, right? If you're this Wukong here. Doesn't really have anyone being able to fall up here. GQP doesn't have this MR Sunfire done, right? So he's just so far away from having any sort of like reliable wave clear. Technology is standing near a whole bunch of feathers.
Oh, that turret is gone. At least Doku is here, so the bot lane is not going to immediately die, but Dwami getting pretty aggressive in that top lane as well. Be able to pick himself up another plate. Gold lead up to about 3,500, pretty significant at 15 minutes.
Yeah, definitely a really big lead for them. We can see that Caitlyn's already got her Hex Optics done, building towards her Infinity Edge now. Essence Reaver is done, at least for Xayah, so we're not like totally at zero, which it seems like it could have been. I really pray to God that we are swapping our bot lane into this Garen here to give Xayah a chance to farm. I just hope that Dwami with Flash and Ignite doesn't just one-shot Papa Sucre. Otherwise, their game is over.
Yeah, it does have a 3-level advantage over the Xayah right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty
sure he does manage to get on top of the bird.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if he does get on top of her, they will one-shot her. But Rigor Mortis here, seeing if he can get any sort of counter jungling done. No, Doku's just going to be able to defend that. Okay, we got Herald starting up now, I guess. You're not fighting this DeathMark. I would not do that.
Yeah, now I think is not the time to go for the team fight. Oh, they're going to look for the pick, though, in the mid lane. K-Technology caught out, trying to flash away, still alive on the Caitlyn. And Doku just not quite able to get that kill alongside GQB. Does get the flash out, though, from K-Technology. Now Dwami Poppy off on the side. Gonna get jumped on here. Over the top. That's a flash away for the Penguin. Glacial Fisher not going to land. Beat drop to root that Renekton. And nobody is going to go down. Herald still on the table.
I mean, if they claim that this is a bounty, right? Those just popped up, so that's something for them. But they invested a lot into this play here. Yeah,
flash ult from the Wukong, I believe, as well as flash from the Galio. And Dragon is spawning in less than a minute. It's going to be sole point for Akuma if they get this next Dragon coming up very, very soon.
Yeah. Is Hollow Radiance done at least? Okay, it's done. So that's something. But Labubu Kitty is just so far ahead right now, it feels like, of this Galio, despite them being so close in items. It's just the rise factor, right? He just explodes exponentially in his ability to clear waves.
Right, we've got an interesting position for... Oh, there goes Rigamorn. Is going to go in onto Fizz, who is going to be forced to flash away. It's another summoner down for the side of DeathMark Esports. Here comes the Renekton, though. Is playing on that off angle. See if he can find himself a priority target. Still some powerful team fighting tools available. The Cyclone is about to come back up off cooldown for Doku. And Renekton still playing on that off angle. See if he can lock somebody down. But Dragon going down very, very quickly at the blade of Rigor Mortis. He's like, he will just be able to take that one away. It's what? Huh? Oh, no, yeah, he did get it. Okay. What did I just see Galio get? Oh, it was
Rift Herald spawning.
I was very confused for a moment.
Yeah, I was too. I was like, what? Charge going to happen in the mid lane. That's just going to get some plates there. Nothing big.
Okay, now Rorschach might be in trouble. Pop Dominus flashes in. He trying to get the lockdown, but it's only onto Dwami. The Renekton's going to get taken down. In goes Doku now, but you've already lost the top laner, and the Moonfall is going to help to take down that Wukong as well. Glacial Fisher, after you've already lost 2 members. Papa Sucre tries to flash away the Root Prison onto the Braum. It's going to be kill number 1 for the Kitty, and GQB is going to be the last to fall. 5 for nothing in the team fight, and DeathMark Esports just fall to pieces.
Yeah, so having 0 winning lanes and playing towards your top laner who's 0-4-1, maybe not the play. Akuma might have this one in the bag, we would think.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the angle was that DeathMark Esports saw there that made them want to commit so heavily to that fight.
Yeah, I don't know either, because I don't think they can team fight their way out of a 7k gold deficit at this point in this game. There's just so much standing gold on the map and trying to get some of these bounty plates and using that Herald to try and break that tower to like shrink that gold lead to maybe give you a chance at least to fight on soul point and something. But at this point, it just feels like their game is so doomed.
It's feeling really tough. Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, Doku is pretty close to his second item. And honestly, Papa Sucre is not too far off either. But it just feels like Akuma have the run of the rift right now. They are going to have Arcadia spot out there. Face checking the line brush, but they can't quite finish off the Seraphine. Arcadius just walks it off.
Okay, I'm sorry. I need to call that out from Rorschach. He sliced and diced away, and so that he couldn't auto attack him and get that and get that damage from the Dominus passive, that was bad, man.
But the direction of the dice did feel a little bit suboptimal as Kitty, a little bit caught out here, pops the phase rush and is actually completely fine.
Well, we got Ghost there,
the
I guess.
Got the turret plate for himself.
Hey, we're gonna get one of these bounties maybe in the top lane tower here. Maybe not. Okay, we're just trading ults in mid lane here. Cancellology losing his, Papa getting his lost as well. We're a little worried that he would die there. Okay, so I don't know what the play is here for DeathMark. I don't think there's a win spot left. The only way this game is a win for them is as you're getting like Nexus Dove and you get an Elder after that or something. I don't really got much else for you.
The Cloud Soul not definitively not fightable.
Yeah.
Mortis did get that blue buff, I believe. Gonna look for the Moonfall now. Does have to flash away from the heroic entrance. And that is gonna be a realm of I mean, it is desperation hours, is it not?
Yeah, it's desperation hours. I guess you got to go for that play. You didn't know how close the Rise ult was. You just saw it on the ground and had to just flash in and look for it.
Yeah, I don't mind
so I don't either, actually. In all honesty, it just looks bad on the initial thought. But I'm just wondering what you do, because at the minute till Dragon spawns, you have 0 wards on this side of the map. As you can see that last one getting cleared out there. Rorschach probably going to die here, I think, to W. Nope.
Yeah, in goes Rigor Mortis. The Ruthless Predator is going to come out for the Encore in response, and that is going to be a kill onto the Croc. In goes the Wukong, just find that cycle. This is feeling eerily reminiscent of that last fight that we saw just a little bit earlier, as Renton is already dead, and now the Wukong's trying to Cyclone, and now he's dead too. And now we've got the CC on the Galio. GQB's got nowhere to go. That's going to be kill number 2 for K10. And just like that, it's 3 on the floor for DeathMark, and Cloud Soul's all but secured.
Okay, so we got ourselves Baron probably as well. I feel like that's where these pings are going here for Akuma. They're just straight hoofing it there. They can probably make a little detour here at this tower. Instead, they're just going to make sure to kill this tower in the mid lane before they go and claim their soul, I guess. Making sure to play things by the book, not really risking it on a potential Baron flip because these reset timers are so short right now.
Yeah, still pretty early. I like a soul first into Baron angle afterwards. Yeah, is kind of how I would want to go about it. Yeah, so this feels pretty good for me. And Doku just can't get over here in time. That's gonna be so secured. Yep. And now we're just looking for a Baron setup into an end of the game. Yep. I don't see how Akuma messed this one up. I'm trying my best. I'm see if I can curse him. I'm really testing my powers here. I really just don't think they can lose. I don't either. I really feel like it's the only way they lose is if there's somehow the miracle steal angle, right? And no one dies for it kind of thing. Like it's just Wukong W's over some random wall and steals Baron, and they just stay able to stall the game out or something. It's the only way it's happening. Cloud Soul is so good on this team just because of the movement speed it gives, like the ability for Rise and Dwami to just be fast. The ults don't really care about. No one's really happy that they get movement speed after their ult, except maybe Rigor Mortis on this Diana. I don't think anyone else is very happy. Caitlyn roots herself to use hers. It's same basically with Kitty. I guess you can run around in circles really fast and dodge CC before you get in your realm work. That's kind of funny. Yeah. Definitely some shenanigan potential there. Yeah. But I mean the Cloud's just the passive movement speed from the Soul is really powerful. And so they are, we do have Rigor Mortis a little bit isolated right now, pushed up in the mid lane, but he's not close enough to the bush where it's going to be. Now in goes Dodo. Going to find that Cyclone onto the back line. Here comes the Glacial Fish for some decent follow-up. And nobody can follow up on this Rigor Mortis engage, who has gone very deep. But same can be said for GQB. Just going to get taken down by the Caitlyn. And the wallets are just too heavy. Here comes the Renekton after his entire team is already dead. And that's going to do it. That is going to do it. Akuma in 25 minutes looking to take down this game number 2.
Yeah, big win for them, showing that if they have 3 winning lanes and get a gigantic gold lead, they can close a game out. Great to see from them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think we needed to see this, right? After what we saw as number 1, it really felt like Akuma should have won that game as well. But able to utilize those lane advantages to control the rifts and really just get a pretty convincing victory here in game number 2, I think is what we wanted to see out of the Vastaian Conference number 1 seed.
Yeah, just you had your winning lanes. You had a clean win. I underestimated how badly the Xayah Braum lane was going to do. This is generally why you don't pick Braum into Seraphine, despite me being like, why doesn't everyone do this? I kind of saw it in real time. Your Braum sits there and does absolutely nothing. And Seraphine just wails on him, but alongside whatever your ranged ADC is. And Braum is very sad. So good job from Akuma, showcasing that they can close a game out cleanly, play into their strengths and their win. You got a POG. I don't really know who you give it to. Whoever drafted for them, like,
is it Dwami for being Pengu?
That's where I'm going. I mean, he got camped in his 6-1-6, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, Doku really tried to focus towards that top side early and found very little reward for that effort. So I think maybe it is just Dwami. I think the only other person you really would be able to look towards would be maybe like K-Technology for utilizing his leads so well. But
I guess, but I feel like he just got handed the game on a silver platter, right? Like, did he do anything that was all that interesting to me that game? Not really. He clicked on the tower a lot when he hit his minions pushing.
He really did. He really clicked on that tower a whole bunch.
Yeah.
It worked out very, very well for him. But yeah, I think Dwami with that R5 Darren pick really does deserve the POG for this one. You know, I think played pretty well on that Gwen in game number 1 as well, despite the fact that his team wasn't able to pick up the victory. So I think a Dwami POG is in order here. But that's going to do it for game number 2. Pretty one-sided affair. Akuma Peacemaker kind of just mopping the floor with them. And now we'll see in game number 3. I mean, Akuma Peacemakers, they've been winning for most of the series so far. Waiting to see if maybe we can get some more miracles, I guess, coming out from the side of DeathMark Esports. Or maybe they're going to be able to get themselves some winning lanes finally. Would be great to see as well. So we'll be right back with that game at number 3 Champion Select.
全マーケットは迅速な発送ですぐにお届けします。あ、ボクセット？
大丈夫？
でも直接来てくれたの？
これ
って
漫画みたいだったね。
しかも今衣装着てるし、花でもあれば完璧なのに。
完璧だよ。壊れ物だから自分で届けたかったんだ。
あなたって完璧。ありがとう、全マーケット。
Everybody, welcome back. It was Akuma Peacemakers looking pretty gangster in that game number 2. They've pushed over to the blue side now, though, for the third game in best of 5. See what DeathMark are going to be able to do with that counter pick Storm.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the Yunara ban that Akuma have been doing is going to come through. Instead, it looks like they're going to leave it up, try and maybe grab that as their B1 pick. But I think we need to talk about the true hero of the draft who hasn't shown up yet, Kog'Maw. You know, it's a Kog'Maw angle. It always is. I think if they pick this on-hit hyper carry in the Yunara, I think you should just slam Lulu Kog'Maw yourself and go, well, I'm going to do it better than you can. That's my play. That's what I think DeathMark should do. That's my draft coach coming in here.
All right.
We've already banned a whole bunch of the really powerful dive tools, right? Wukong's out. Galio's out. Seraphine Ash is gone. Vi's out. What are you going to dive onto Kog'Maw with? Nothing. That's what. Kog'Maw supremacy. Let's go, DeathMark.
So on the blue side, they were banning in the Zahen, the Yunara, and then they banned away the Jarvan in that game number 2. So let's see what DeathMark do decide to go for, because, the Jarvan is actually still going to get banned away on blue side by Akuma this time. So that, could leave this Yunara ban to come through for DeathMark, but maybe they will just be happy to answer it with the Kog'Maw. They're going to leave it open. The Ambessa going to be that last ban on red side.
I'm pretty sure they're going to pick that. I mean, Corky's available, but his fish is gone. Nami not available to help him out. That's kind of the other main B1 counter pick you see towards ADC. As far as mid lane picks, Orianna's been banned this whole series, so that isn't really there. Victor has some pretty bad matchups. Karma first pick I do not like as much.
Interesting. Yeah, pretty surprising. Definitely reads like Akuma just kind of want to hide what they're trying to look for here in this draft is kind of how it feels to me.
I mean, they've won off winning lanes, right? That's been the bread and butter, is get winning lanes. Karma wins lanes, so I definitely support this. Oh my god. Is it happening? I'm gonna wait. I'll wait.
It's Yunara. It's Yunara.
I know it's Yunara. Just let me help, Crewman.
I'm sorry. We could see a Kog'Maw on the side of Akuma. That could happen for sure.
I think you need something like Ivern or something if you're going to do that instead. Please just lock Kog'Maw. Just lock Kog'Maw, DeathMark. I'll cast so hard for you. I will be so biased for your win. Please.
Oh my god!
Yes!
Oh my god!
They listened! They listened!
Oh, the Mad Lads have done it! Oh my god!
Let's go! DeathMark for the win, baby! DeathMark W!
Favorite team. Holy shit.
With AP Kog'Maw gone, you've cemented yourselves. You're the #1 team in my heart forever. I mean, I legitimately think it's pretty good because of all the things I was mentioning, of all the dive tools being gone. There's a lot of them that aren't here anymore, right?
Yeah.
Actually. The other thing that Akuma can do into this is they could just play the stuff to outrange it and make it so that Kog'Maw can never click and auto attack people. Because there's a lot of the engage gone. So now DeathMark doesn't have as many tools maybe to engage themselves and have Kog'Maw the ability to auto attack people. I will just randomly throw out there. I also was looking at the stat sites, and Kog'Maw mid is really, really good for some unknown reason. I don't know what he's good into. That's an Olaf. I think we need to talk about that from Akuma as well.
I suppose so.
That's really good with Karma, right? That's a kind of one of those classical pairings. Quite good into Kog'Maw because he can't run away from you at all. He just dies because you just click on him and you press Ghost, and you click on him until he's dead. Lulu can't polymorph Olaf because of Ragnarok, things like that. Rumble. Okay.
So that is a very high priority pick, generally speaking.
Yeah.
I had kind of forgotten about him, to be honest. The fact that he's kind of made it through here to R3 in game 3 draft of this fearless best of 5 is pretty surprising. And it feels like, if anything can beat the Olaf early, it probably is the Rumble. I mean, what do we know about this top lane matchup?
Rorschach plays a lot of this champion as well. It's his most played this season. He played a lot of it last season as well. So like this is a pretty big comfort pick for him. I'm also pretty shocked it went through. This is just one of those matchups. Every Olaf matchup is basically this. Are you randomly going to die early because you randomly get cheesed down by like axe throws and stuff like that? The way you win this matchup as Rumble is you use electro harpoons to slow him so he can't run you down like a dog and kill you. You're able to kite away from him and things like that. You're able to match the wave clear with your flame spitter, and then you have to be able to run away as soon as Olaf presses ghost and tries to like kill you once you crest the halfway point of the lane is kind of how this lane matchup works from my understanding. See some interesting bans coming through here from DeathMark as well. The Aurelia and Sejuani are very interesting as well.
The Sejuani indicating that they think that it might actually be Olaf Jungle coming through here, respecting that possibility.
I'm just thinking it's because they banned Trundle, Akuma did, right?
Yeah.
And that's like the Sejuani counter, right? Is Trundle. So maybe they were thinking, oh, they're going to pick Sejuani if they're banning Trundle, right? Maybe that's the reason that was through. So Aurora coming into this play.
They could have just taken Sejuani on R4, no? And it would have been great with the Rumble, too.
That's true, actually. I think it would have been pretty good for their team and gave them some engage opportunities and things like that. But just might be a thing, you know, not a lot of people really play her nowadays. She is quite boring, to be fair.
Whoa, so we've got Wei and Victor. So we've got an awesome dude in the bot lane here for the side of Akuma.
Yeah,
very interesting.
Coming out to try and match the Kog'Maw. I'm just scared of him.
Wow, this team composition is all over the place. What is happening? What is going on, Storm?
Okay, so that is some dive to get onto Kog'Maw, Nocturne Olaf. I will say, those are some things to make it very hard for Kog'Maw to play the game. The problem is I don't know what else helps them, right? Like, Hui and Victor are not all in on the let's run at Kog'Maw and kill that guy angle, right? They just want to shoot spells and have like a front line in front of them, and they don't have a front line at all for the side of Akuma. I think oh my god, they locked in Mundo. This is so good.
Yeah. Oh, I'm loving DeathMark's composition.
It's like from like several seasons ago if Aurora was like some different champion, but like their comp seems great to me. I was already hyped up on the DeathMark thing as soon as they picked Kog'Maw, but now I'm even more hyped. You get a free lane to just farm into your tower against Kentology, who's just playing a marksman, so like you get this just like to free farm basically. You have a free farming like jungler because there's no way Rigor Mortis is ganking early, and Doku is gonna do the same thing, right? You're both just gonna power farm. And Rorschach should be able to like handle Dwami. This is a lane matchup that's good for Rumble, I'm almost certain. And then as well as hopefully it's just GQB and Labubu, right? Like Victor isn't like this crazy like early game champion. He's all about scaling in late game. So GQB should be able to hold him down as well. As I think earlier breakpoints for that wave clear opportunity. I think this is a clear DeathMark win, baby. I'm gonna say that no matter what, but I actually believe it too.
I appreciate the honesty there, Storm. Yeah. You know, the one thing that I'm not like completely convinced on with this composition is that there's not really setup for the Rumble ultimate. And they also they don't really have that much frontline on the side of DeathMark either. It's really mostly just the Mundo, right? Who is going to get very tanky eventually, but it's going to take him a while. And so, you know, and maybe it's fine because the Kog'Maw doesn't really want to fight for a while anyways. He kind of just wants to scale up to like a 2 or 3 items. So, you know, maybe that's fine. But mostly, I'm just convinced by DeathMark esports composition in comparison to what Akuma have got here. I'm just really kind of baffled about what the game plan is for Akuma here. I'm quite confused.
I think Akuma's quamp is pretty clear. It is absolutely explode Kog'Maw and say that the rest of DeathMark does not have the damage to kill our Olaf and Nocturne. I think they're all in on that basically, right? If if that doesn't happen, if Kog'Maw ever lives a fight, they are absolutely screwed. They cannot deal with him whatsoever. It's all on like,
I don't know.
can they land like poke onto him and stuff, right? Like, and things like that. But it's just that thing of like Kog'Maw builds like wit's end and everything almost every game, right? He's really
got a
into those,
Lulu.
and he's got a Lulu and stuff like that, right? So it's like they're all in on that. Just like blow him up before he can auto attack them to death. If they don't blow Kog'Maw up, they never ever win. And I don't know if they can do that
for that happen. And even if they do kill Kog'Maw, I just don't agree with that premise that like the rest of the comp doesn't have damage. It's Rumble, Aurora, Mungo. They have so much damage. They have a crazy amount of damage.
Oh yeah. But I mean, that's what Akuma tunneled it on. Is they picked Kog'Maw. We must kill Kog'Maw. We have Olaf to kill Kog'Maw. And they were like, well, we don't have anything to help our Olaf kill Kog'Maw. And they were like, well, we need Nocturne for that. And now I'm looking at their comp and I'm going, you have no front line. You have no consistent DPS. And you have
feels like no disaster for Akuma here, honestly.
Yeah, they have two people running in, like going 1v5. They have two people running in, going 1v5 man mode. Karma to like help them do that, and then they have two guys peeling back and going, guys, we need a front line to shoot our spells. I'll be useful again in 6 seconds, and Olaf's gonna go, I'm dead in 6 seconds.
It feels like if Akuma do find a way to win this game, it's a 3-1 Akuma. We're just a better team.
Oh yeah, right? For sure. If DeathMark can't win this game, they don't deserve to win the rest of the series. I'm sorry to say it, guys. Even though you picked Kog'Maw and I'm rooting for you, this is like the dream draft game in some ways, right? Like the team,
we think they should win.
Team,
just to be clear.
The enemy team has fumbled the ball. You've picked up the ball, and you just have to run to the enemy touchdown zone. For like the sports people out there, it's literally
there are no defenders.
It's just don't trip on the grass.
Exactly. They just need to not step out of bounds by accident, and they should be fine. Is kind of how we're feeling about this one.
This seems crazy to me, but I mean, it's the thing. There's a lot of like. Olaf can like randomly win a game. I've had so many games in solo queue where I've watched when I'm not playing top lane, when I'm in a different role, and I've watched my enemy top laner disrespect Olaf, watched him kill him at level 1, and then he kills him again as soon as they get back to lane, and then that guy just stands in between your tower and kills you if you ever try and walk by. Like Olaf is like the ultimate like I'm going to 1v9 the game because he literally gets immune to CC, right? If Olaf is like 5-0, it doesn't matter to DeathMark. Like they can't deal with him if he is like super far ridiculously ahead.
I don't know if Olaf is the quintessential 1v9 the game champion. I think he's the quintessential 1v9 the first 20 minutes champion.
Yeah, sure, that's fair. And that might be all that Akuma needs. I mean, they won game 1, that convinced, like should have won game 1, and game 2 they were so far ahead at 20 minutes too, right? So there's always a chance. I mean, I don't want to be too much on the DeathMark cart train. We need to lower the caster curse.
That's true. We've really just fully indexed into the curse angle at this point for the side of DeathMark. So I don't mind you trying to dial that back a bit. You know, I can respect that, Storm. But we're really, I mean, I think it's pretty clear at this point how we're feeling about these drafts. At game number 2, it was pretty one-sided in favor of the Peacemakers, and if they can find a way to come out on top with this composition, then we're feeling like this series is going to be pretty much done and dusted. So we'll see how it looks, guys. We'll see if the Olaf is going to be able to completely take over in the first few minutes of the game, or if it's going to be the Kog'Maw in those later minutes that is going to be impossible for the side of the Peacemakers to deal with. Don't go anywhere, guys. Game number 3 hitting those monitors in just a couple of minutes. All right, everybody, welcome on to the Rift for game number 3. It was the side of the Peacemakers able to take a pretty convincing victory in that game number 2, and now they are over to the blue side with an extremely unorthodox composition, trying to take down the Goliath that is the Kog'Maw in the hands of Papa Sucre. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, good to see from Rorschach. We've started the correct ability. We know that we need E at level 1, not Q, into Dwami Poppy. Thank God that we have passed that skill check. Kog'Maw, it is base Kog'Maw, so that is a negative point, I will say. You could have been a beautiful butterfly, and I could have cheered for you even harder if you were that, but it's fair. I'm just happy to see it is lethal tempo, so we are on hit Kog'Maw. It's not this weird AP shenanigans when we have, you know, both Rumble and Aurora. We have pressed W and we are clicking on people. It's a beautiful day to be the butterfly.
Yeah, we did see that first ability from K-Technology on the way. Did go a little bit wide there. Papa Sucre going to be pretty comfortable to pick up this first minion wave. At least, well, I say that is actually still sitting on 1 CS at the moment. There's the second one.
Yeah, nice. Picking those up. Mundo clearing towards his top side this game is interesting. He is pathing away from his hyper carry, trying to not make sure that they aren't getting ganked or anything like that. This Karma quite as well should do a lot of damage early. Oh my god, it's disaster.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage onto the Kog'Maw. Papa Sucre does at least hold on to both summoners for now, but has gone down extraordinarily low.
Yeah. Opted into taking the Ghost this game instead of Barrier or something like that as well for these team fights, trying to get away from this Olaf and try to hide out from this Nocturne as well, I think. Are picking up some of this CS here. Lulu able to get him that cannon minion as well, which is nice. GQB getting a bit of a trade in here. And just remember, you can't kill him. He is Olaf and he's low. That means he's stronger. Just don't try it. We do have Ignite in top lane, but there is the exhaust from Dwami as well to try and counter that out. Do see this clear is starting to get finished by both these junglers here. Mundo finished his really early.
As he does.
Yeah.
Doku not going to be making any look towards the top lane, though. It's going to be Dwami respecting the fact that Doku, that Mundo, could be in the area. So he's not stepping up too far. Will just be that topside scuttle crab before the doctor. So he's going to be traded off as we see Rigor Mortis moving into that bot side river.
Yep. Going to buy some early boots, get back to lane faster, hopefully be able to start dodging out from some of these skill shots as well. I support that decision a lot. Can see that it is just the reset here from the Nocturne. Made sure to get that ward into the enemy jungle as well. So we'll see the Mundo as he's clearing, as he gets back towards his Gromp, just to make sure that they can keep tracking him so that Dwami knows that he can stay up here in this top lane pushing aggressively. But yeah, so far, not a disaster for the side of DeathMark, so it's a win. We think their comp is very strong.
Yeah, absolutely. And just because Papa Sucre is a little bit behind right now, it's not the end of the world. He scales very well on the Kog'Maw. Pulled in is Fizz there by the Grasping Maw.
Yep, but pushing out here and everything's okay. We can see both mid laners are running teleports. They're just waiting to see who has to TP first and then see if they can trade into them before committing to their own. Just kind of that internal chicken game that kind of happens in mid if you both stay around with very, very low resources. Rokarch doing a good job in this top lane here, and there's the Whimsy forward. Kog'Maw getting these slows.
Ooh, the Grasping Maw plus the tether. Gonna connect onto Sucre. Yeah. Not really able to trade back too much onto K10. Fizz does sidestep the Mantra Inner Flame, which is very nice for the Lulu. And that Grasping Maw will not land. But still, it's a lot of control down here for K10 and Arcadia so far.
Thank God, at least this wave did get shoved in fully. So this isn't like a disaster if they're getting froze on or something like that, and they're losing the game because of it. So that's big for them.
Between Worlds in the mid lane, is Kitty potentially in trouble? The Weirding does connect. Victor chunked down to about half. Dragon on the table. Gonna be an Ocean first this game.
That would be
Nice for
yeah, everyone getting poked down so much as well. I think that's a huge dragon victory if they're able to take this. But we do see Rigor Mortis is in the area, maybe looking to see if he can just walk forward and get a smite steal.
only level 5 still, but yeah, he's going to be allowed to walk in here for the 50-50. Who's going to get it? It is going to go to Doku, but the Mundo is going to get taken down. Not that tanky early on. Dragon in exchange for first blood, and it goes into the pockets of Kitty on this Victor. I think Akuma are feeling okay about that.
Yeah, I would say that just because it went to Victor, that's pretty good for them. That's definitely the champion on their team who scales the absolute best as well. But I feel like that's really, really big for the side of DeathMark, just because it means the poke isn't going to be as huge, that there's going to be that, you know, extra regen now for Papa and for Fizz down here in the bot lane. See if Roshark is able to continue and set up this freeze here. He does have it set up currently and is able to just kind of poke into these bushes and stop these bases from Dwami. But that is 6 now for Rigor Mortis up here on this Nocturne, and that's kind of the farm alarm has ended. It's now the time of, are you randomly going to die to the first paranoia of the game? It's like the TF fault, right? You got to check, does the first one result in a kill? Because there's so much of your champion's strength loaded into that one ability.
Yeah, absolutely. That Scuttle Crab on the top side of the map is up as well, so that might be the target for Rigor Mortis for now. Actually, just looking like he's clearing back down towards the Wolves at the moment.
Yeah, Dwami is continuing to get froze on here. That's like a 6 CS lead that's going to come by as soon as Rorschach is able to finish picking up the rest of this wave here. You can see just a minor CS lead right now, but nothing huge. Same in the bot lane, that there's that kind of 500 gold lead here currently for Kentology over Papa. And we've unlocked ultimate abilities. Kog'Maw ult, not exactly the most useful ability when you're playing on hit. But it's there. It's useful for clearing out minions when you're afraid of getting poked like this. So there's that.
Yeah, double lost chapter is done for both the Victor and the Way. So they're feeling pretty all right about their status in these lanes as well.
Wow, and that's
Grub's now
Hex
live.
Drinker Rush from Olaf on Dwami in this top line. That's really interesting to me. So that means he is going to go for an all-in, right? Because otherwise you want to be going for like lifesteal or some things like that. You know, the slowing kind of field item that I always that I'm blanking on the name of right now that Garen built last game.
Okay, here comes the Paranoia on towards Doku, tries to flash away, has that Mundo passive to immune the fear. Chaos Storm dropped down, Death Ray not enough to secure the kill, but it is enough to push Doku and GQB out of the jungle and away from the objective. So it should be all 3 of those grubs going over to Akuma.
Well, Akuma, DeathMark got one, didn't they? Isn't that what that says up there? The symbol.
Oh, you're
there?
absolutely right. Yes, they did.
Yeah.
My bad.
No, I just wanted to double check because that's big for them, denying all 3, right? Just make sure that they can't get snowballed on as hard. You know, that first grub that you take does also give that big bonus XP chunk to you. So big for the Mundo, making sure that Doku's able to get that. We can see that Papa Sucre is just using these Void Artilleries, the Kog'Maw ult here, to just claim the CS that would be falling to minion damage here. Making sure to just play as safe as possible. He is just getting pushed into his tower, but it isn't like a disaster down here in the bot lane so far. That's a lot of damage, so that's a kind of concern I would be having. Maybe we need to pop our heal on Lulu for preemptively here.
Perhaps. The Wild Growth is not quite available just yet. Fizz does not have access to the level 6. Should have it pretty soon. You can see Arcadius does already have it on this Karma. Looks like the wave is going to be cleared out by Papa Sucre without too much trouble. There is the level 6 for Fizz as well. Grasping Maw going to connect only onto the support. Papa Sucre is down pretty significantly in CS, but it is at least able to get all of that experience.
Yeah, which just means you're getting, you know, value.
There's the Spiraling Despair. The Wild Growth does come out. Is it going to be enough? Yes, it is. The Kog'Maw does survive. Away with only the Lost Chapter and the Amp Tome. Not quite enough damage to finish off the Void Puppy.
Yeah, and looks like afterwards that heal was forced out of one of those Void Spikes or whatever they are called from Wei. Probably forcing that out there from Fizz, who was quite low himself. And that's going to be Mountain Drake now. I think going over for free to the side of Akuma, they're definitely going to be happy to take that one as well. Away from DeathMark. I mean, Mundo getting that would be an absolute nightmare for their team. He's already going to be super hard to kill later on, and just getting any bonuses towards his armor and MR as he's just going to continue to build flat health for a while, I would imagine.
Yeah, the Heartsteel done already for Doku does feel very, very nice. Going to be able to get some early stacks on that, presumably. Going for some counter jungling right now in that enemy top side, and potentially going to be spotted out by Regamortis, who is moving over. Does have the Paranoia available right now as well. And Regamortis actually spotted out, did not see the Mundo there in the bush, who did manage... Oh, actually was just waiting for the blue buff to spawn, so he's just going to channel the recall. No, actually, he's going to start up the blue buff. Still in that enemy jungle is the Mundo. The Nocturne lurking in that top side lane. The blue buff going to be stolen away by Doku.
Yeah, and has that exit point via the Hex Gate there. That is our soul this game, is Hex Soul, which is absolutely disgusting on both of these teams, I would say. Means that you can never run away from Kog'Maw or Mundo if they ever get it, or Rumble gets to kite you forever. Also means that this kiting and all of this like poke from Kentonology and Labubu would be incredibly hard to deal with as well. So feel like this is a soul definitely worth fighting for this game.
Yeah, still quite a ways until that next dragon does spawn. Little Blackfire Torch done now for both of the mages on the side of Akuma. Here comes the Paranoia in the top lane. Going to look for this Fear onto the Rumble. The flash away going to be forced out for Rorschach.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty big for them. This is this tier 1 tower going down as well, which is a pretty worrying sign here from DeathMark.
Yeah, that's very early. It's not even playing the Caitlyn anymore. Already, K-Technology able to get that bot tier 1.
Yeah.
Equalizer on the wave for Rorschach. Just wanted the recall, and we'll find it.
Yeah. Should have his... I'm not sure actually what he's building first on Rumble. Generally...
Gonna be the Leandries there for sure.
Probably, I would think, right? Yeah. Okay, that makes most sense.
I don't know if I love the Leandries this game, but... I mean, if you're going like heel cut at some point as well, then there's going to be a lot of value there.
Yeah, especially into the Olaf as you're laning against him and stuff like that, I suppose. Yeah. But Hexplate done now for Nocturne to give you more access to those Paranoias. I don't feel like we've seen that many. Just that one towards the top side was kind of the only one we saw. So we've rotated out our Kog'Maw into mid lane to try and catch up some of these waves as they're just piling into him. Has another tier 1 tower to protect him. Doku just kind of coming in here to soak up some XP, trying to see if he can run off Kentology and Arcadius, but not really very threatening right now is this Mundo. Okay, we did get that. We did get our cannon minion there, thanks to Fizz. So that's good.
Does Pop Sucre have this first item completed? Looks like he doesn't have the gold for it quite yet.
Yeah,
Fear is going to miss for K10.
I was also going to say, I really don't like Bork Rush as Kog'Maw. It's not that good. His AP ratios are actually higher than his AD ratios, so it's much better to actually rush Rangeblade on this champion. Wish we were seeing that coming out here, and then we would be able to get, you know, towards our wit's end or something like that faster. Instead, we're going to be really far away from getting any sort of that incremental MR coming through.
Nice grasping maw there again for K10. We did also just see Rigamortis able to steal away the enemy Raptors. Got himself a slight CS lead in the jungle. Paranoia available for that Nocturne again as well. Has level 11, so a little bit of increased range on that Starting up the Rift Herald right now. 40 seconds on the next dragon.
Yeah, and this is the point I'm kind of worried about is DeathMark, despite getting this one dragon, are just kind of giving up the rest of the map, right? They're very far behind in terms of like it's just a 2k gold of just farm, right? And it's just farm that's getting denied from them in all ways. That like everyone is down in CS basically, other than their top laner, and they haven't really made any plays. They're just content to sit back and wait. And that's kind of worrying because you're not going to be able to do that forever. And it just means that the enemy team is able to get so much more vision and just know where you're trying to make your plays, right? We can see all this vision that was placed down towards this dragon that's spawning. They're now fighting back for it. And do you think this is a fight they should take? They had their Bork done, I guess, on Kog'Maw, but like they don't seem to have a lot else really ready. I mean, I guess Mundo does need Hearthsteel stacks. He does need to go fight someone.
You like taking a look here is not a terrible idea for DeathMark.
Yeah.
I don't think you necessarily need this dragon, but you see Doku moving forward. Severing Bolt not going to land. Team's just kind of a little bit of stare down at the moment. Doku is pretty heavily chunked though, so at that point, you know, with your jungler chunked down pretty low, I think it's probably should just be a back away as GQ be a little bit caught out there in the jungle by the Olaf, but does manage to go across the veil. Doku just walking forward, but immediately has to flash away. Now the paranoia coming out of despair as that Kog'Maw is just walking into the enemy team. And GQB is going to get taken down as well. That looked very strange.
That looked really, really bad. I think it's fair to say.
That's what I meant to say. Yeah, bad.
Yeah.
Not good.
Awful. We
that
can
would
keep
work
going.
too, yeah. Also an accurate descriptor.
There was lots of adjectives we could throw out there, but you are into team comms. If Nocturne ults, generally it's good to talk to each other about what you are trying to do because you can't see the screen. So like we can just see here that Papa Sucre just knows his job is to go forward and auto attack. He sees his front line has bottom time, that he used all the spells and he ran forward to auto attack, and his team was not, because they were scared of Nocturne because he was probably going to kill someone. Instead, Kog'Maw ran forward and died because he ran into 4 people by himself.
Yeah, so I'm I think that's a great summary there, Storm. I think it's good that no, we're fine. I think it's good that you kind of highlighted the fact that the paranoia was active, and so vision was extremely limited for DeathMark Esports in that situation. So it looked worse on our screens than it did on theirs. But still, I think your highlight of the lack of communication, very, very poignant. And that is something I think we're going to need to see tidied up as we progress further in this game.
Yeah, we can see our Mundo is building towards his Spirit Visage, noting that there is so much magic damage coming through and scaling incredibly well with all that healing and shielding. I really like to see this. Between Worlds, gonna not get committed. That's just
the ultimate
jump.
Yeah, W is across the veil there, Storm.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
I just thought that was the animation for it. I got a little bit of stream lag and was very worried for a second that we just tried committing that into a full HP Victor.
Nope, nothing of the sort.
Yeah. But have we finished all of our Victor upgrades? I feel like Labubu must be getting pretty close here.
Take a quick look here. So how do I tell if they're upgraded again, or are they blue when they're upgraded?
I'm blue-green colorblind, so I'm the wrong person to ask that one too. That's sorry to say.
They look somewhat upgraded to me, but I don't play Victor, so I'm not entirely
I think if you hover over them, it says like upgraded death ray or something. I think. No, it doesn't.
No, it has the names of the abilities. It doesn't say anything about upgraded. Paranoia in the mid lane. We are going into 3 people with this one. The Wild Growth does come out onto the Mundo and not the Kog'Maw. Did I see that right?
Yeah, we did. We did do that. Big hitbox. Hard to click on Kog'Maw. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what else to reply to that. I'm very worried that we are losing this game because of the draft. Yeah.
We're very concerned. We're down 5,000 golds. I hadn't checked in on that until just now, and that's also very concerning. But the eye test is also it's not going well, Storm.
Yeah, the eye test is showing me that they have not practiced this. They just picked this because I think I was screaming about it.
You were screaming about it quite loudly.
Yeah.
Rorschach is going to flash over the wall, and is going to drop an equalizer, and going to get taken down. He does not have any teammates in the area. The respawns have come through for a couple of DeathMark members, but Doku is immediately going to get chunked down to about half once again here. The Grasping Maw is going to come out. Doku is in trouble between worlds. Does come out from the Aurora, but the Nocturne into the back line. Immediately they destroy the Kog'Maw again. He didn't have the wild growth available. It wasn't back off cooldown just yet. It's going to be 3 dead for DeathMark Esports. 8-0 on the scoreboard. As the replays are just...
Yeah, we're using our W and stuff at times when Kog'Maw can't like auto. I think we used E as well. And now, like, as soon as this, just look at this ballistic missile. 1-2. That was like 3 auto attacks from Rigor Mortis, and he actually killed him completely from full. So you're just gonna buy like lethality or something, right? Because you can just keep one-shotting this guy if you're... Yeah, there's a BF sword.
Imagine if you had like Profane Hydra there instead of Stride Breaker. I like to go Profane Hydra sometimes on Nocturne when there's a lot of squishies on the enemy team. It's very fun.
Yeah.
Stride Breaker is kind of like, I think, the objectively better build in terms of like consistency. But I mean, the Profane angle was absolutely there this game.
For sure, but it's a worrying trend here for DeathMark that this is another game where we're just getting outlanked, purely and simply, right?
Yeah.
We have 0 kills. We have not... Do we have any turret plates? I think we had 1 down there in the bot lane. I guess there's some getting taken here now by GQB.
Yeah, GQB just got himself a couple of plates in that top lane.
Yeah. So, like, we have not touched, like, any turrets this game whatsoever. There's so much standing gold, not just in the turret money, but the plates as well. So that's a really huge concern here for DeathMark, because they're just down that much gold from that. Like, they're down 8K right now. Pre-25
I think
minutes.
I was, like...
Yeah.
It's very bad. It's very, very bad.
Yeah.
I was, like, pretty not concerned about the gold deficit at first.
Yeah.
Because I was like... oh, their composition's just better. Like, they're just going to win team fights later. It's fine.
Yeah.
And then they didn't win the team fights.
No, they showed up to their first team fight and they played it really badly and they lost it.
It's very
And then their Kog'Maw got... and then we ulted the wrong person in the next one. So it's looking a little rough.
Yeah.
Because my other thing that I'm really worried about... Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Hextech's whole point is that we're not doing anything on like the other side of the map to get something, right? We're not playing for a win somewhere else. We're just kind of losing slowly everywhere. We're just bleeding out.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, GQB was kind of doing stuff. He was getting a couple of turret plates. That was something.
Yeah,
that he was doing.
But
the bot lane inhibitor chart is going to lose a couple of plates now.
Yeah.
And the maximum dosage is still available for Doku. He does have the Spirit Visage done now, so he can frontline a little bit better now. But the Baron buff is still on for about 20 seconds as the side of Akuma are continuing the offensive, continuing the siege for now. They've got Kitty split off towards the mid lane, trying to get that mid wave shepherded in. And is going to put on some pressure towards that mid inhibitor turret as well.
So it is worth noting that they don't really have engage, right? DeathMark, it's basically run at you, the comp. They have Mundo to run at you, and they have like Rumble running at you with like maybe an equalizer to slow people, and then Kog'Maw running at you. They don't have any CC to lock down Clay or Victor or anything like that in case something's happening. And they are cutting into Doku's like farm now a little bit. They're taking away some of his camps. They're denying, and they're going to grow this gold lead even more. And it's just like Papa is so far away from being relevant. He's still not done his oh my god, why can I not remember item names for ADCs, man?
Rageblade that just got completed.
Thank you. Rageblade
made you look like, doubly silly.
Yeah.
Did not only is he losing the game, he's also making you look bad. It's just the worst possible Kog'Maw. Yeah. It's like the monkey's paw curling.
It's like when we saw the AP Kog'Maw mid that died like 14 times.
That's right. I forgot about that.
That was not a great look either. Oh, that's just way poke. That wasn't even a spiraling despair. I was about to call that out, and I was like, oh no, that's just Fizz taking like a QE.
There's the spiraling despair. It's going to go wide to the right. Here comes the paranoia, though. As Papa Sucre again, very far forward, has to flash away, but will survive. The fear does connect, but the Kog'Maw will stay alive. And he's walking forward again, which is very frightening. But he's still going to have to...
Labubu's going to burst on. Yeah,
and
goodbye.
He's gone, Storm. He really... he walked forward too much. There was too much walking forward.
I mean, he had to try that a little bit, but I don't think we needed... We burned a whole bunch of stuff. We know Victor had ult. It's a double lift moment all over again. We're never going to win Worlds. NA is doomed forever.
No. Oh, poor Storm.
Yeah.
I think maybe it would have been fine if like the rest of the team was also walking forward. It kind of goes back to that we were making about communication earlier.
Yeah. This is the optimal way to play AD carry, guys, is you just yell who you're auto-attacking. I know it sounds stupid, but just trust me.
Yeah, like the Mundo is kind of thinking about like, oh, maybe I'm going to walk forward, but I might die. And then Kog'Maw just died. And now it's not good.
Yeah, I mean, GQB has flash and ult there, right? Like, if you are walking forward as Cog there, you need to be committing the between worlds and flashing and stuff, right? You gotta be 100% together. If it's a bad play, as long as it's a bad play you're all doing, it's a good play. That's how my coach explained it to me.
And now we've got Hextech Soul coming up in 30 seconds.
Yeah,
Akuma.
We got to get the miracle fight here. We have all been seen trying to make a death brush. That's probably not the best. But as long as
there's a harpoon onto K10. Equalizer's going to go down. The way has to flash away.
Okay, that's a great start.
It's a good start, but the Mundo is immediately chunked down so low. Where's his health bar gone? Oh, God. And now it comes the Nocturne. The Wild Growth does find itself onto the Kog'Maw this time, but the fear is there, and Dwami gets the kill. And that should just about do it. Dwami just running rampant in towards this backline. Fizz tries to flash away. He's trying to do some Hexgate gaming, and it's going to be K10 with one last blast of magical energy to destroy the Lulu. And it's 3 dead for DeathMark. And it might be 3 Nexuses dead as well. It's kind of how it's feeling right now. This is only going to be the second one, but this is a tough loss. It's a zero kills, Storm. Oh, their first kill.
They might get one.
Arcadius is in so much trouble. Sure, they can take him out. No, the shield. Oh,
no. Oh, God, it's a disaster. Oh, God. It looked so good. We forced this, and then we just had to back up just a little bit and wait for our Kog'Maw to hit people. Look, he's trying to get there, and now he's not auto-attacking. We still haven't auto-attacked once.
They're teleporting in. They're going for the Hail Mary fight.
Okay. I can see it kind of in live. It doesn't look good.
I couldn't see.
Papa Sucre is hitting them. He's alive.
Can they kill somebody? The Rigor Mortis is down so low on the Nocturne. It's a double kill.
No.
They killed
they got one. They got one.
They got a kill, Storm.
Kog'Maw got the kill. It's big.
Oh, yes. Okay. No.
It's the biggest comeback angle you've ever seen in your life. Don't you worry, folks. Is that a friggin' scout slingshot in my Kog'Maw's inventory?
It might be.
Okay, brother, you are playing against 2 giant AP mages. Why are we not building frickin' just build resistances. Build the resistances that are good. Please build a Wit's End. Please build a fucking Terminus. I don't understand.
I think it's too late, Storm.
It's way too late. I know it's too late. He didn't know what to do. Our friggin' Lulu has a... Oh, God, it's on hit. The Lulu on hit item that's been nerfed into the ground and just remains in this game as a cruel...
One hit Kog'Maw. I think it's okay still in theory. Even if it's...
I think you want the cleanse items that you can cleanse your Kog'Maw from being feared.
Yeah, no, that probably would have been more useful.
Or redemption.
It's okay, Storm. Maybe Kog'Maw will get him next time.
Yeah, maybe next time he'll get him.
Well, We'll see how convincingly Akuma can close things out from here. They've just secured themselves another Baron. And they've got that one for about 2.5 minutes. They've already destroyed the mid lane inhibitor. And they have the Hextech Soul. So it should be pretty straightforward from here. Grouping up towards the top side right now. Rigor Mortis going to buff up this mid wave. Paranoia available, of course. He's level 17 now, so it's pretty much always available for the Nocturne. And we'll just see when they decide to pull the trigger. Last time in this game. The minion waves closing in. The DeathMark base. Inhibitor turret in the top lane under fire. The slow onto the Kog'Maw. Forces Papa Sucre back for now. Couple triplets already gone over. The last ditch engage comes out between worlds. The equalizer over the top. It's a lot of damage onto Rigor Mortis initially, but he already has the GA. And goes the Olaf, and they destroy the Kog'Maw first. Once again, they delete Papa Sucre. Rigor Mortis is going to have to flash back out of the base. That's going to be a lot of damage onto the Mundo as well. Frontline taking a big beating here. Another slow from the Hextech Soul is so oppressive. And now Dwami going to take up position in this bot lane to get all of these waves pushing in. Health bars are pretty low. It's going to be a base and a TP back in for Kitty, but Rigor Mortis might get taken down here. Arcadius with the tether, though. The Spiraling Despair connects for K-Technology. But the flash in for Rorschach. Oh, no, he wasn't the flash, but he did manage to take down the Karma. He was forced to trade himself for it. The Nexus turret is going to get taken down. The respawn for Papa Sucre. He's back. He's back in. He's got his third item completed. Go, little Kog'Maw. There's so many low health bars. Maybe he could do it. Maybe they could last a little bit longer. But the Nexus turret, it's getting chunked away by all of these cannon minions. And Papa Sucre is trying to walk forward. He's trying to get these minions, but he's just going to be destroyed once again. He was 5 levels down on the Nocturne, and all Rigor Mortis had to do was click on him. And that's going to be the end of the game. 32.5 minutes is going to be Akuma Peacemakers going up to match points.
Good night, sweet prince.
Sweet
you were
puppy.
Beautiful.
Fly high, butterfly. Fly high.
Yeah.
21-2. Brutal. Absolute decimation in that one. Just, oh, goodness, that was ugly.
Yeah, I thought it was going to go well. I mean, their top laner was doing a great job. Rorschach on that Rumble. He looked good up there against the Olaf. And then the rest of the lanes just collapsed. Kog'Maw Lulu got pushed in relentlessly, and they never had any help in any way, shape, or form. And Hwei Karma just poked them until they died or had to reset. And it just felt like that just happened all over the map, that they just got pushed in and they lost. I mean, the one dragon they did get was basically just a 50-50. They probably shouldn't have taken.
Have we seen DeathMark Esports with a winning lane yet in this series?
I would argue that they had a winning lane in top lane. That's the wrong draft being shown on screen, I think, right? That's the game 2
that's not
draft.
quite right. No, that was from game 2, yeah. That's not this one, but maybe our producer just didn't want to show this one. Maybe
that's fair.
Act of mercy. Oh no, there it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I guess he didn't really win, right? He just made sure Olaf didn't win, so that's not really a win for Rorschach. But
yeah, it was close. It was, there's an argument for the Rumble having an upper hand in that lane. The argument exists. Certainly it wasn't a decisive win in the lane.
Yeah, we haven't had a decisive win. That's fair. I think we could say that. There hasn't been like a clear win or anything along that.
At what point in this game was the back broken, Storm? What was the defining moment of this game for you?
I think when Mundo got ulted instead of Kog'Maw, he died in mid lane and was worth 180 gold, and I just went, oh, it's over. That was in my mind when I went, oh, it's over. I think it was the 4th death for Papa Sucre.
Yeah, that's fair. POG for game number 3 here for the side of Akuma Peacemaker. Pretty tough, honestly.
Yeah. I think Technology for beating down on Kog'Maw, I think might be it for me. He played really well.
Yeah. Topped out the damage charts for sure.
Yeah.
just barely actually edging out Kitty there with the way over the Victor. Personally, I'm jungle biased, of course. I would vote towards Rigor Mortis there on the Nocturnes. I felt like he was kind of the one that sealed the deal and was kind of the main thorn in the side of Sucre in most of those fights, as we're already into Game 4 draft. Okay, Storm, here we go.
Yeah, I feel like as these initial bans come through that have been the same all series, we can continue our argument that you have jungle bias, so I think it's Kateology. That's my argument, basically, in summary. He played well. He did a lot of damage.
Fair.
He didn't die.
What do you think, Macros?
Yeah, you're a tiebreaker.
You're a tiebreaker. And the Nocturne. What am I blanking right now?
Rigor Mortis.
Rigor Mortis, thank you.
Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace. Restore our Gloria to live for.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
jungle bias confirmed.
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you, production.
Oh god, I have another jungler against me. Oh, this is
You're
a
outnumbered,
people's
Storm.
uprising needs to happen, guys.
Maybe we should just do what the I think it's the LEC that just lets Twitch chat decide the POGs. I'm not sure what chat
supports
is
never
saying.
ever win it. That's what I'm hearing.
Right.
We give it out
right.
at least a couple of times to supports when we see good plays from them. But
We do. I feel like we do an okay job of acknowledging the supports, between the three of us. But yeah, let's see how this fourth game is going to go. It's right.
Yeah.
No, obviously not in this game. It wasn't a support vote in this game. You're absolutely right, Macros. I'm just saying, in general, I feel like we do a decent job of acknowledging that.
so we've picked Pantheon, so he means you can get a winning lane. Because you can run a kill lane and get a winning lane that way. Pantheon Talia. That's my next hope.
Okay, yeah,
if you
I
really
like it.
want to go
I like
for
that.
something cheesy, because you're kind of at that point. I feel like you need to pull out the strong cheese from the back of the fridge. It's got a bit of a blue tint to it. That seems to me like what you need right now is DeathMark. Not just a little bit of cheddar
Not
or
the
something.
moldy
You
cheese.
need the strong blue cheese. You need something gross to win this series, because it's after last game, it's looking a little doomed here. So I'm thinking Pantheon Talia bot lane is a great start, but Akuma's going to pick a somewhat good champion in the Nefiri, something that we've seen a lot in pro play.
Yeah.
Has the Fizzy
Somewhat
on a
good, yeah.
W ability, which is totally broken, and I hate her because of that. Probably pretty good in the Pantheon, because you're able to dance around and get away from stuff. Kaisa going to be taken alongside that. Just good dive. If you're wanting to do that, can reposition as well. Just a solid ADC, I think, in general. What is DeathMark got for us?
The Talia is still available. I quite like
It
that
is.
idea. It's great into the Nefiri as well.
Yeah.
I think the angle is pretty nice here for a Talia. The Sivir could come through. So Sivir, is the weakest point in the game for Sivir is the early laning phase, and probably should not be punishable by the Kaisa. So I think the Sivir angle here is pretty solid. I think we are pretty much a fan of that. Are we just going to go support here on 3, or do we take the Talia? Oh, neither. We're just going to take the Cassante, looks like, on 3.
That's currently being hovered. I really hope we don't do that, because I guess Gwen's gone and Garen's gone, at least. So those are probably his two biggest counter picks are gone.
Yeah, yeah.
See what Akuma decides they want to pick into him. There's still a lot of stuff that I think is quite good. Urgot is available. Mordekaiser.
Yeah.
Vayne top lane. The OG
God.
counter pick into this.
Not the forbidden technology.
Yeah. Instead, we're just going to take our support here. Nautilus or Alistair were both up. We're going to go for the Alistair, it looks like, here. And now these round 2 bans are going to come through. So we've picked Alistair, so I think we need to ban Silas. I think it's fair to say. There's that. That's good.
Okay, good. Yeah, makes sense.
I think it's also really... Doesn't Nefiri have insane ratio on her ult as well that Silas steals? That means he one-shots people because he converts that into an AP ratio. Pretty sure that's also.
That how Silas works? Does he convert
Yeah.
ratios?
Yeah, if you don't have an AP ratio, he converts the AD ratio on your abilities into AP.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
What
it's
the hell?
really funny, actually.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we don't have to worry about that this game, thankfully. The Bard is also going to get banned away. So
That's
that is
sad. I like-
something that would make Alistar's life pretty uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I think that ban makes some sense as well. It doesn't mean that the Talia is still available. Could
I
get
think
picked by
Thresh-
Akuma on 4, theoretically.
I think Thresh is also quite good here for DeathMark, just being able to play Alistair out of combos, things like that. In the support position, be able to reposition your server to make her more safe. I'm not gonna lie, I really hate like early picking Pantheon if you don't have like immediate CC to like follow up and make sure that he does really well. Kuma's gonna take the Shen here as their blind top, or I guess just the answer into Cassante. It's pretty good into him because you can like immune like his like enhanced auto attacks and things like that, and you're generally able to position the sword into him to get those like shoves. There's the Talia is gonna get locked. Okay. Sure.
Okay,
That's
nice.
good.
We like that. That's good into
Yeah.
pretty much, literally everything
Yeah.
that Akuma have. It's a great pick
Yeah.
here for Deathmark.
Just some sort of disengaged support, I think, is all you really need here to just kind of round things out. I like Thresh. I like Janna. I like Renata even, because like the enemy team groups up quite a bit.
Yeah, it could be a good shout. I would quite like Renata here, actually, if we play it. Oh, Poppy's great, too. Love a Poppy here, too. That's nice.
Yeah. I feel like it's because I guess it's a melee support versus melee support, so it's not that bad for Deathmark. I just don't think their cheese is strong enough. I think we have,
it's not moldy enough.
it's not
Right.
anywhere near on that scale. I think we're like American cheese level. This is not.
Oh.
This is pretty
That's
standard.
Oh,
That's
no.
just not even cheese, right?
You're right. I mean,
Yeah.
That's just like.
It's normal, right? You just expect it to see it on your burger. You wouldn't be surprised. You wouldn't be. And I
Yeah.
feel like you needed that element of surprise here. So,
The profit margins are not high enough for Deathmark
Yeah.
Esports on this burger. We needed
Yeah.
something that we can, really kind of sell as being like a sought after, hard to
Yeah.
come by, something that you're not going to be able to find everywhere, right? Something that people will pay top dollar for. And yeah, this is just like a very standard, well-rounded
Yeah.
composition that you could find at your average brew pub. And yeah, I hear you. It's just like there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of craft breweries around these days. Everybody's kind of doing it at this point, and I just don't know if they're going to be able to find their niche with this product.
yeah. And I mean, for the side of the Akuma, they just have a really good chef in their kitchen, right? They're cooking up some pretty incredible food.
Yeah.
They don't need the spice and the interestingness and the uniqueness in their product. Their chef
They've
just
got
makes
it
a better
anyway.
version. They've just got a winning thing. And yeah, their draft's pretty interesting. Nefiri and Shen aren't typically champions we see. They got kind of an interesting dive combo of like Nefiri ulting a target and Shen submarining on top of them and type of thing. And got Kaisa following up with that. Got the purple synergy as well. I think that's pretty
my
incredible.
goodness, it's so purple.
Purple. Yeah.
Just it tastes purple.
Yeah.
It's almost a shame we don't have Lulu in this game.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Kuma looking like we're both guessing they're going to close the series out here, but we'll have to see. Deathmark did have that random just play of brilliance in game one to snap victory from the jaws of defeat. So maybe they can do it again. We'll have to see.
Storm needs a couple extra moments, guys. We'll be right back. right, everybody, welcome back onto the Rift for game number 4. Akuma Peacemakers up to match point now after a couple of back-to-back convincing victories. We do have a really great composition here for DeathMark Esports. It's great anti-dive into what Akuma have, but DeathMark have been losing pretty one-sidedly for the vast majority of this series so far. See if they can turn things around.
Yep, and as Dwami, we have put our... He has watched a Petu video or knows how to play Shen from some other source. Assuming it's Petu. Shoutouts to that guy. What a fantastic knowledge he is and Gap for that. But, oh, there's some Halo Blades action coming in from Fizz there. Going for the very aggressive summoner spell on this support Poppy. Not going for Aftershock or anything like that. So hopefully we'll see more of those E forwards. But Dwami getting some of these pulled enhanced Q auto attacks here in the top lane on this Shen. It's great to see. Yeah.
We do have our jungler starting both on the top side of the map once again. Raptor Ward did go down for the side of DeathMark Esports, so they did see Rigor Mortis starting on those chickens.
Yeah. So they know they have that advantage for themselves. Don't know if they have a winning mid lane.
But really nice from Arcadius onto 2. Papa Sucre chunked down already to about 300 HP. He had level 2 now himself.
So I want to discuss this while it's this quieter early game while we're just getting our farming in and stuff like that. What is a winning lane, right? What is our metric for a winning lane? Because I want to say that DeathMark are trying their best to have a winning lane in this game, right? They got this Talia in the mid lane with this Pantheon combo. They got what seems like a pretty strong bot lane here in this Pantheon, or sorry, this Poppy and this Sivir here. You know, they've got a lot of damage so far on the Ketnology, who's generally had the run of this game. Well, that's a tower shot there for Poppy, but is going to maybe break this freeze a little. I think that was a lot of damage that they are taking top lane to get that. Sorry, go ahead.
It was. Arcadius going to do a little bit of headbutting here on towards Papa. But it's a great question, Storm. You know, and for me personally, certainly I think there's some nuance here. For me personally, I would argue that a winning lane... Oh, nice scatter there in the mid lane. Oh my goodness, Kitty's already chunked down to GQB pretty low here. Talia going through both potions already. I would argue that a winning lane is one in which you have priority for the majority of the time. Like at least 60 to 70% of the time. If you have priority, I would say that you're winning the lane.
That's fair, and it also seems like a very jungler answer to me, because that means that if they have priority, that means they can roam and help you.
Yes, correct. Certainly, I think there's you know, an argument here in regards to the amount of CS that you have as well. Obviously, getting kills is going to be a strong argument in favor of you being in a winning position in the lane. But I would say, that the easiest way in which to measure who is winning the lane is who has the push, who has priority.
So Shen having the priority, obviously, in top lane Dwami, I think it's fair to say is winning. It's up 10
currently
CS.
winning, yes.
Yeah. I mean, we'll have to track that and see if there's anyone for DeathMark able to get their winning lane and kind of get themselves a big W from Krubin and I that will give them.
Well, how would you define it, Storm?
Solo kills. I'm very much
sure. That's a very top laner answer.
Yeah, I'm very much in the top lane answer of like the 1v1 game mode. It's the significant CS gap, the solo kills, or the tower going down.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
So we did see a topside Scuttle Crab taken by Rigor Mortis and a botside Scuttle Crab that has not been taken by anybody. So there is a ward on that right now by Akuma. And so the Neferi is starting to move in that general direction.
Yeah, has that extra longsword in their inventory as well. They do have that advantage if they do come up against this Pantheon. No one's level 6 yet. No one kind of close yet. Just kind of people ticking over to 5 here. That's a great taunt in there.
Yeah, Rorschach does still have the... Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. That was a really nice scatter.
Yeah, very, very nice scatter. Nothing Nothing else to see there. Just
a nice scatter from Kitty.
Yep.
Really well done.
we got a
That's
call
going to be the Nefiri
finish
into the river.
from Ketanology. They got their. They know what they're going into against the Silver Lane. Just slow farming, trying to keep everything nice and safe down here. There's another great scatter from Kitty.
Dragon not going to be started up just yet, as the bot lane priority is currently in the hands of Papa and Fizz. So the Nefiri, the dog, going to be moving back up towards this top side. And thinking about a move towards GQB. There's the unleashed power, and the scatter is going to come out, and GQB has to flash away. Does have Doku in the vicinity, but Akuma not going to overstep, not going to overchase. Gonna be Rigor Mortis just back on towards the Raptor respawn.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. And oh my God. Is that a point and click ability, Storm?
It's sure feeling that way, isn't it? Right now.
Level 6 advantage for the dog.
Yeah, there's a
Pantheon
great
going to
taunt
run
there
away as
from
quickly as he
Dwami.
can. That's a big chunk onto Fizz in this bot lane as well, but the Killer Instinct not available quite yet for K10.
Yeah, no sixes in the bot lane, but we do have that's for Shen. So Dwami can join this fight here onto Doku while he's man marking.
Doku, you can't fight for this blue buff, my man. He doesn't have the flash. He's just gone. He's just a dead Pantheon walking. And they're going to give the kill over to Kitty. First blood for the Akuma mid laner. Oh dear.
I'm not gonna lie, I like Rigor Mortis getting that. I feel like if you're playing an assassin jungler, you should be given the kills.
But it's so gentlemanly of the jungler to give that kill over to the. I mean, like, so Kitty has been obviously handily winning this lane, and the fact that Kitty was willing to go for that roam as well. Okay, here comes the Hound's Pursuit. The seismic shove, very nice from GQB. Going to push Rigor Mortis away, and it's going to be absolutely fine. So Nefiri ultimate used there for not a whole lot.
Yeah, that did not seem like a really fantastic ult there from Rigor Mortis, but nothing really lost either here. Not going to lose any kind of tempo. See if he could get any sort of counter jungling done. Nothing really to be prepared there. Sees that he has all of his camps kind of cycling up to do, so going to go do those instead of starting up this Hextech Dragon that has just kind of been sitting here for 3 minutes or so. Neither jungler really looking towards it. Doku, not having his flash for some odd reason. I can't really tell why he doesn't have it, but
very strange. He's gonna have it back soon though.
Yeah, so hopefully he can make a play sometime soon with that. Has just gotten access to the Grand Starfall there.
Yeah. Also worth mentioning that the Unleashed Power is available once again for Kitty, so let's keep an eye out for that as well.
But, Pantheon's kind of fallen out of favor as a jungler because his clear speed isn't nearly as good as it used to be. I'm pretty sure they just nerfed his Q monster damage ratio or something.
They did, yes.
But
we also do see about a 25 CS lead in the mid lane right now. And quite a significant lead for Dwami here in the top lane as well. Doing a really good job trying to hold this minion wave outside of the turret aggro. That is going to be a big amount of CC under Arcades, who does pop the Unbreakable Will. In comes Rigor Mortis now, as the Pantheon has gone very deep. The Keeper's Verdict is going to connect onto K-Technology. And so that would be the disengage from Fizz.
Okay, not sure if we were on the same page there. I'm pretty sure Doku really wanted to try and kill Kentanology there, and is just punting them away. But
it did look a little bit dangerous though, and Kentanology was pretty close to his turret regardless. As this Cassante is in a whole lot of trouble. He's going to go all out, but Dwami is also going all out, just without that ability name. But the Cassante is going to be able to dash away. It doesn't even need the flash there. Does Rorschach, just able to walk that one off. Had enough dashes. The release date was recent enough. And now the scatter connects onto Fizz, who does flash back over the wall, but the Nefiri able to follow as can K10. And now the reset on the ultimate. That's going to be the flash for Papa to get back to the other side of the blast cone. Call of the Pack going to come out from Rigor Mortis, looking to continue this chase. The scatter does not land. And so Doku will be able to back away. Stand United utilized there from Poppy as well. Just the one kill. Looks like the dragon will go over to Akuma as well.
Yeah, and it's just weird to me that we see GQB having that Weaver's Wall in the mid lane, and isn't using it, right? Didn't do anything with it. Just kind of watched his team die and got a mid-wave shove in to try and even up the CS lead a little bit, but it's still so bad.
Yeah, don't love that. Although I guess it was very far behind. I mean, we're looking like a Blackfire torch versus Lucidity boots in a book. And not the fun book either. Like the very boring... It's like a picture book. It's like a coloring book for kids. You know, it's not...
Yeah, we're not reading Dungeon Crawler Carl. That's definitely like War and Peace or something.
Yeah. Well, there's a slightly cooler book. What kind of book? What's that book? The blue one. Is that? I don't think it's quite Dungeon Crawler Carl level, is it?
What's our blue book
Lost
that we were? Oh, Lost Chapter. Something else that's quite exciting. Project Hail Mary. That's pretty popular. Everyone likes that series quite a bit. Just getting that movie out with Ryan Gosling. I'm him, obviously.
So like pretty good, but like not S tier.
Yeah, not S tier. I think Project Hail Mary is like a really safe like A tier. Like everyone really liked it, but it wasn't like. Okay. I don't think anyone's going to say that's my favorite book.
Well, it sounds like it should be enough to fight the next dragon at the very least, as Dwame's going to be able to go in with the Shadow Dash, and then immediately he's going to have to flash away because he did not realize that Doku was in that bush. There's going to be a nice scatter onto the book reader.
Just hits that W every single time. Makes that ability look so easy.
Rorschach pretty low. Then Fury going to get chunked down as well, though. Here's the teleport into the top lane from the Talia. As the all-out gets the flash away from the Nefiri. The scatter is not going to land just yet. GQB does find the shove onto the Syndra. Kitty in so much trouble trying to flash back over to the top laner. Finds the unleashed power onto Rorschach, but he gets taken down himself. And now the Grand Starfall from Doku doesn't get a whole lot done, but it is going to be a 1-for-1. And that is the start of something potentially for DeathMark Esports.
Yeah, I don't get it. Why is GQB teleporting to top lane instead of using the Weaver's Wall? He does know what his ult does, right? Like,
it's a great question.
I don't know. Maybe
there's a book about that we could recommend to him.
Yeah, maybe he was just too much in the fight with Kitty or something, but then like he just gets stunned out of it with Scatter. I just don't understand.
Well, it was a kill for the Talia, and also a kill for the Syndra there as well. So 1 kill each for the mid laners. Yep,
bot lane just continuing to be pretty much a farm fest. No one's taken anything, right? These plates are both standing. Feels kind of weird to me that Papa Sucre isn't able to just run up to this tower and press E and get like that auto attack to get all that juicy plate money from that crystalline overgrowth that's there, but fears for his life. There is an Alistair there who can punt him into his tower and stuff, so that's fair.
Yeah, one thing we hadn't touched on quite yet is that the Alistar is actually a pretty strong answer into the Sivir specifically, right? The fact that you can only spell shield one ability, either the headbutt or the pulverize, means that it's almost always going to be the headbutt, right? Because that's the first one. Okay, that's a fight in the jungle as Rigor Mortis. Oh, the Keeper's Verdict. It does connect onto the Syndra, and the call of the back is not going to be enough to keep that Nefiri alive. Shut down over to Doku. 2 kills now for DeathMark.
And Rigor Mortis is gone for hubris. He is claiming that I am going to win. Dwami as well, also getting
Rorschach
big
going
trades.
pretty low in this top lane. Dwami going to find the last auto attack and solo kills the Cassante. Oh man, that Shen is getting pretty fed.
Yeah, and he doesn't have Dusk and Dawn, and that champion feels like a new champion once you have that item done. But yeah, we can just see that Verdict was great there from Fizz, also putting up the W there just to stop any way from Arcadius being able to connect or do anything in that fight. Really well played there from him.
Yeah, definitely. Poppy looking pretty good for Javi Fizz. See if we're going to be able to keep that going. Again, it is fantastic into Akuma's composition. Dragon number 2 in 40 seconds. Let's see about the setup.
Feel like big items kind of completed here, that we see that Titanic is now done in the top lane for Poppy. We see this Kraken Slayer finished at ADC for Kentology. Since Reaver done for the Sivers, both of them going for these kind of standard builds on their champions. Sundered Sky finished for the Pantheon, the jungle item, as I like to call it, that you see every single jungler basically in the game rushes this. That was a really huge trade, and that was just like a QE. That wasn't any sort of commit there from Poppy.
Yeah, it's a 2-level lead in the top lane as Fizz pretty far forward, does pop the steadfast presence, but now the engage from the Alistar, and now Fizz is in some trouble. The scatter's going to land, and the Poppy's going to get taken down. Kill number 3 for Kitty.
Yeah, just making the Syndra champion look super easy here. We seeing GPB just going for this farm. There's a Pantheon in the wraparound here. We can get a W.
Red shot. Okay, here comes Doku. Gonna find the stump of the steadfast presence, or the Stand United rather, comes out in response. Dwami, oh, the scatter again is going to land, and the seismic shove will not, and Doku's gonna be taken down. The teleport in for Rorschach, but the kill's already gone over. The dragon's already gone. Here comes K-Technology, the all-out from the Cassante, the flash away for Arcadius. K-Technology should have the damage here. The Cassante's living for so long, but he will eventually be taken down. Kill number 4 for Kitty. Poppy will survive. And Sucre almost getting solo killed in this bot lane as well. Barely able to flash away. The bleed not quite going to be enough. The Sivir will live, but it feels like DeathMark Esports are just already bleeding out of this game storm.
Yeah, just not having quite enough damage here. We can see Dwami Poppy was so low in this, Labubu was so low, but they're just not able to finish any of these kills. The flash out there from Arcadius, baiting in Rorschach as well, and it's just inches that are getting won over and over again, getting those first downs to rely on these football terms that I'm sure you Americans all understand. You're all sports people, I know.
Do appreciate you helping us out there with the American football references, Storm. Much obliged. We did just see Doku going for a Hail Mary in the bot lane with a Grand Starfall, and there were no receivers in the area. That one we're going to call intentional grounding, as Papa Sucre now is going to get intentionally taken out, potentially. No, not quite. Actually able to walk that one off. Gets out of bounds just in time.
Yeah. Save that time on the game clock while there's still some time left to play, but it's looking like the third quarter's airing and we're down by a lot of touchdowns so far. So this is a rough game setting up for them right now.
Nice sidestep on that scatter for GQB. But here comes the Goon Squad into the top lane. Teleport out from the Talia. And there is the all-out from the Cassante as well. Rigor Mortis going to go for an early W. The flash forward for Rorschach. And the seismic shove has to be flashed away from Rigor Mortis. Good flash there from the Nefiri. And a lot committed from both sides. Nobody's going to go down.
Yeah,
flash out of the bush. Go on.
It's kind of interesting to see that we're not like together with our Pantheon Talia. They haven't like committed a combo together yet.
Q3 is there. Rorschach, he's just dead, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Another solo kill for the Shen. Is that how this matchup is supposed to look?
Yeah, this Shen's really good into Cassante.
Fair enough then. Keeper's Verdict going to be channeled by Fizz. Does find it onto K10. And the setback presence is really nice as well. But in goes the Nefiri, the flash away for the Poppy, gets the stun into the wall, and he still is going to get taken down. It just wasn't enough. He tried so hard. But there were just too many shields, too many dashes, 2 more kills. Over to Akuma.
How many stacks is Kitty on? I'm just curious. I feel like it's a lot.
Before we tell you how many would be a lot. No, it looks like you can see.
I can't see that. We do see the Zen Market thing is blocking it for me, but I don't know the numbers on Sidra. I'll be real with you, but I feel like it's a high number. 103. Okay, 100. I'm pretty sure it's like similar to Smolder, that like once you get to 250, that's like the ultimate unlock where it starts executing people.
Okay. Well, I believe we didn't miss too much in that replay. I think maybe a Herald went over to Doku. I think I heard the sound of a Herald being taken. He has that now. Here comes the Poppy in towards this top lane. See if Guami's going to be punished. The Cassante has gone down quite low, but in comes Fizz. Teleport going to come out in response from Kitty, and the Shen is going to look to continue this engagement. The Q3 does land, but the steadfast presence is going to wear off. The scatter is going to connect, and it's just...
They are. We haven't even finished our busted item on Shen, which is that Dusk and Dawn. Giving you those second on hit passive just feels so disgusting on the champion. Feels like getting it's the ADC item that reduces like flicker blades. That was the other thing you could do last season that felt really broken on him if you were super far ahead. This season you just get to do it, and the item gives you like tank stats that you kind of want. It gives you a whole bunch of CDR and attack speed that Shen wants. So you're just able to be this like bruiser tank thing that's an amalgamation that shouldn't exist. Kind of like Cassante. So it's nice to see him getting beaten down.
An even playing field then.
Yeah.
Perfect. We've got Dragon number 3 joining us on the Rift now. And it's going to be an Ocean Soul this game for game number 4. Nice steadfast presence again there from Fizz. Going to deny the Shadow Dash. Dragon started up though. Doku does have flash and ult if he wants to try to yeet himself in here for a steal attempt. He's going to summon up Shelly in the meantime, as Dwami is kind of playing bodyguard while the Dragon gets taken down. In comes K10 looking to assassinate the Sivir. Nobody peeling for the AD carry and is just going to get taken down. And now Rorschach trying to fight this one out in a 1v2 against K10 and Dwami, and is just getting completely obliterated.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot to really say other than Akuma is cleaning this game up. That's another touchdown for them. Probably a field goal in their well. Probably a 2-point conversion. And they just walked in that touchdown.
Yeah. Now they're probably even going to recover the punt. They're even going to look for the offsides.
The offside punt.
Kickoff here. It's getting pretty ugly.
Yeah. What else? Did we see any other results? Has anyone else finished any 3-0s coming in here?
We're already checking the results. Yeah, fair enough.
We saw XSV Orion took the 3-0 over the Conduit Super Idols. The Death Cards took the 3-0 over No Quarter Dynasty as well.
Okay, yeah. Shout out to Samba, my boy Samba, a Chicago native. Glad to see. I think we're going to be casting the Death Cards next week, Storm. So hopefully that Death team will be a little bit more
competitive,
deadly. Yeah, competitive. Sure, that works. But yeah, good to see XSV Orion keeping up that momentum as well. We obviously cast them last week. They took down their sister team, the Pylons, pretty convincingly in that round of 16. So I'm sure Shane's very happy to see his squad able to keep that going, even after they took him out of the tournament.
Yeah. See Labubu here as well, able to get a whole bunch of damage, just stacking up these splinters super hard. Cassante has built only armor as well, so taking a fair bit here. KDS did face check into this. He's
got a Shen. Here comes Stand United. Look at the size on that shield, man. Oh, Keeper's Verdict on to 2. Actually, really, really nice. And they are going to take down the cow. That is something for DeathMark. And that's kill number 2 for GQB. It was kind of, I think the main person we're looking at to see if DeathMark can actually make something happen in this game. Scatter is amazing. I think that hit onto 3 people.
Yeah.
The steadfast presence is pretty good, but it's just not good enough. Double kill over to K-Technology. The Shadow Dash is not going to land. The turret shot, not quite enough to finish off Poppy. And
can we see a replay on that? I want to see if that Shadow Dash hit 3 people and then followed up for the Labubu was able to get the 3-man stun from that. Just seeing it at the beginning there, but I'm pretty sure that was a multi-man taunt as well that just follow up with that stun. It just looks like they're point and click abilities for this team. They're not even skill shots. And you see Shen just surviving on that sliver of HP as well.
Here comes the Hail Mary from DeathMark Esports as we come back to live. The Baron started up by Akuma Peacemakers. Arcadia's body blocking, marking the Talia. The Baron is going to be taken, and GQB all alone here in the mid lane. So they're trying to chase down the Rock Weaver, but GQB will have enough movement speed to get away. The Baron, as already mentioned, was taken. Grand Starfall is going to be used.
Canceled some backs, I guess.
Yeah.
But Shen is level 17, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And Papa is level 12, correct? As Sivir?
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
Okay, and is Poppy level 10? Just perhaps.
She is indeed level 10. Yes, that is a 1
Okay.
followed by a 0.
Okay, just double checking that the top lane role quest was working correctly there. It's good to see.
Oh. And the Cassante just now ticked over to level 14.
Oh, that's
Also
big.
3 levels behind. Weaver's Wall is going to come out towards this bottom side. And Akuma don't really mind too much.
Yeah. Would you believe me if I told you the top lane quest is still probably the worst one, sadly? It has impacted the game the least.
I actually would believe you. And, I was really worried going into this season.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, God, I really don't want top lane to be relevant. I was quite concerned about it. But thankfully, it's still not.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's crazy to me.
So, very, very thankful.
Yeah. Well, what else do we have that we can talk about here?
We should probably talk about this Ocean Soul going over. There's going to be a flash in for GQB. That's going to force the flash away from Kitty. So that was a pretty decent attempt. We had an attempted wraparound there from Fizz and the Pantheon and Doku, but now the engage, the counter engage is going to come out, and now Doku's going to have to flash away, and now the big ol' wraparound from Poppy looking to close the door on him. In goes into Fury Keeper's Verdict. Fantastic from Fizz. Ejects the divers, but the Cassante is just going to get shot in the face, point blank range. I don't know if I have a football metaphor for that. As in goes the dive, and there go the health bars. Akuma Peacemakers looking to make a statement at the end of this game as Kate Analogy going underneath the turret to finish off this. Poppy can't quite close the distance as Hoppy Fizz will survive to watch his base get torn to shreds.
Yeah, so we could see in this fight that there was some actually pretty good plays from DeathMark. That was a great ult that you had called out in that team fight. There's a pretty good Talia combo as well here that we saw towards the end that was connected there onto Rigor Mortis as well, but that died. The wallets are just so big right now. It's the 6th and 7th member, it feels like, in these team fights, just beating down on them. Here's Ocean Soul coming over as well. My question was going to be, do you think they're going to... Is DeathMark getting to 5 kills?
Oh.
Yeah.
Probably not.
No?
No.
Okay. I think you're right. I thought before this fight started, I thought it might have been likely, and I was like, maybe they'll get 1 or 2 here. But Papa is running away. He's got his ghost going.
Successfully running away, I might add.
Yeah.
Rigor Mortis already used the ultimate, can't close the distance. Rorschach, not fast enough. Probably is going to get taken down here. Absolutely is going to get taken down here. Papa's still running. Oh, goodness, the slow. I'm not sure actually how that slow happened, but there was a slow, and Papa, in the end, did not quite run fast enough. The Nexus turrets famously not able to run at all. They can't go anywhere. They're just going to get completely destroyed. And it is going to be a sub 30-minute victory here for Akuma Peacemakers in game number 4. And will they allow the 5th kill to go over? They will. It's 5 kills for DeathMark Esports. They've made it to 5 as the Nexus goes down. Akuma Peacemaker, the number 1 seed from the Vestayan Conference, absolutely decimating their opponents here in the quarterfinal.
Yeah, showing why they were the favorites heading into this series for a reason, right? Basically won 4 games, just fumbled a little bit at the last minute on that game 1 victory. Just super close from them. I mean, they cleaned up their act. They played the early games out. I don't know if we can really say anything other than they won the game basically the same way 3 games or 4 games in a row. They won the early game really hard. They won every single game, pretty much the entire series. And then they would convert these gold leads into objectives and stuff like that. And then they just played for stacking Drakes. I feel bad for Rorschach this game. That's not fun to be in that position.
Certainly. I mean, don't pity him too much. He did play Cassante.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I do think we probably got to give this game 4 POG over to Poppy. That Shen was just an absolute monster, just impossible for the side of DeathMark to deal with.
Yeah, I think Kitty also was absolutely disgusting as well on that Syndra in the middle.
True,
they played super well, but you also did 30k damage somehow as Shen in that game. So that's probably
versus
deserved
Cassante.
POG. Yeah.
So there, a little bit of an asterisk there, but
Yeah.
he was he did
it's
a great job getting involved in the rest of the map as well, and the rest of those fights did Poppy. So I mean, it's a good shot though. I mean, Kitty had a great game as well for sure.
Player of the series. What were our POGs? Do you really remember? I can't really
see here. So game 2, I think it was the Garen, was it not? Wasn't it Poppy's
it was
Garen?
Poppy. It was Poppy's Garen in game 2, yeah.
And then it was
Rigor Mortis in game 3, because I was ganged up on in Jungle Bias.
It was the Nocturne vote in game 3. I think it's probably Poppy. I think it's Dwami Poppy is probably player of the match here. I would have to say.
Yeah, I mean, he had a fantastic series, had really high KDAs in all of these games, just played incredibly well. Wish he had a split push more in game 1 as Gwen, but whatever. I'm just proud of them. I think they did really well. I feel like if they just had picked Kog'Maw, I would have been so much happier.
For the side of Akuma?
Yeah, if Akuma had just picked Kog'Maw, I would have been so much happier with their win tonight. But sadly, DeathMark eliminated after picking the best champion and failing with him.
Yeah. You're just, hopefully you'll be able to recover from that over the course of the next week, Storm, and you'll be able to come in with a clean slate and your faith in the Kog'Maw restored going into the semifinals next week. We'll see about that. But regardless, really, really decisive victory tonight for Akuma Peacemaker. They left no doubt that they are one of the teams to beat here in this season of ADL, perhaps even the team to beat. Looking really, really formidable tonight.
Yeah, I'm just hoping we get some better matches in these playoffs. That we've pretty much seen sweeps the whole way through. We've had very few games that have kind of been close. We haven't had that many series, I feel like, that we have casted as well on this cast that have been all that close, right? We've had a lot of game 3s, but it's been a lot of games that have been pretty much stomps, it feels like, I think is fair to say.
True.
So I'm really hoping we can see some teams actually fighting back. There's all these things in the game that have made that way. I'm hoping that we can get some great series for the rest of it, but I don't think I got much else unless you want to add anything, crewman.
No, I think that's going to pretty much do it. I mean, just to bounce off that really quickly, we're into the final 4 now, going into next week. So it's the best of the best from this season. So I'm optimistic that the best games, the best matches are still ahead of us. Very much looking forward to it. That is going to do it from us tonight. Congratulations to Akuma Peacemaker on making it to the final 4. Don't forget, guys, tomorrow night we've got the qualification match in the AML. It's going to be DE Big and Little versus Team Apex Silver. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night, same time, same place for that one. For myself, Storm, Macros, the entire team here at Aegis. Thank you, everybody, very much for watching. We will see you next week for the semifinals. Have a great night.
Bro, just use Zen Market.